Chapter 83. Chapter 83. If only love was as beautiful as at first sight. If it was just the Hao family fighting with the Qin family, the capital's Qin family most likely wouldn't act. However, if the capital's Liang family also attacked, the capital's Qin family definitely wouldn't sit in Hua. Li Xiaojie was representing the Yun High City's Li family and wasn't here just to go to university. He was using his identity as a university student to investigate the powers of the Acropolis City, preparing to lead the Yun High City's Li family to conquer the Acropolis City. The Qin family and Hao family's battle was a rare opportunity, and he would strike at an opportune time. Big brotherly look. Isn't that person Qin Feng? Hua Ming suddenly cried out as his eyes widened, and he pointed at another section of the restaurant. Li Xiaojie looked over, and his eyes glinted. That person was indeed Qin Feng, and he was eating with a pretty girl. Fudge, that guy really went to work, said Hua Ming, shocked and disappointed at the sight of Qin Feng wearing a white shirt and black pants. Although Li Xiaojie had told him about this, Hua Ming was still dumbfounded after seeing it for himself. No one would be able to believe that the Acropolis City's #1 hedonist would go to work. What the frick? Isn't the Qin family at war with the Hao family? And he's here casually flirting with a girl? Seeing that Qin Feng was still just as loose and dissolute despite working, Hua Ming felt so angry that his teeth ached. Li Xiaojie wasn't as angry as Hua Ming, but an evil smile flashed on his face. He suddenly looked towards Hua Ming as he said, "Hua Ming, Qin Feng hasn't been going to university recently, so how has your development with Zhao Lingxian been? Have you been able to sleep with that arrogant goddess yet?"
No.
Hua Ming looked quite depressed. He found that after Qin Feng had stopped coming to university, Zhao Lingxian had become even colder, and Hua Ming didn't even dare to approach her. In that case, how about you invite Zhao Lingxian to have a Western-style lunch with you here? Li Xiaojie asked as a look of entertainment appeared on his face. Hua Ming was just about to say that Zhao Lingxian definitely wouldn't come. However, his eyes lit up as he understood what Li Xiaojie's intention was. That's right. Qin Feng's here seducing another girl. If we call Zhao Lingxian here, and she sees him like this, she'll be hurt and forget about him. That'll give me the opportunity to make a move. After speaking, Hua Ming took out his phone and called Zhao Lingxian. At the same time, Li Xiaojie secretly sent a text under the table, telling the Hao family's people where Qin Feng was. "Hello, who is this?" Hua Ming's call connected. A cold, emotionless voice sounded out. Evidently, Zhao Lingxian hadn't saved Hua Ming's number. Hua Ming felt quite displeased, but he quickly managed his emotions as he cheerfully said, "Zhao Lingxian, it's me, Hua Ming." As soon as she heard that it was Hua Ming, Zhao Lingxian decided to end the call. "I don't have anything to say to you. I'm hanging up now." Hua Ming's face fell, and he hurriedly said, "Wait, I saw Qin Feng at the Swiss restaurant." After she heard this, Zhao Lingxian didn't hang up, but her breathing became heavier. After falling silent for a moment, she replied, "There's nothing between us." Very soon, the couple's meal that Qin Feng had ordered was brought over. Su Ruoro very rarely came to this sort of place to eat. She awkwardly held her fork and knife as she tried to cut her steak, which caused it to almost fall out of her plate many times. After seeing how cute and awkward she looked, Qin Feng patted her head, then expertly cut his steak into small pieces, then swapped their plates. "Thank you, Qin Feng." The delicious meal in front of her made Su Ruoro felt incredibly happy, and she forgot all that had happened earlier. She was smiling so much that her eyes became 2 crescent moons, and as she smelled the delicious steak, she quickly brought a piece into her mouth and slowly savored it. "You don't need to thank me for something small like that," Qin Feng replied while cutting his steak. "Of course I need to thank you. No matter if it's a big matter or small matter, as long as someone has helped me, I should thank them," Su Ruoro earnestly replied. Qin Feng shook his head, then took out the card with $300,000 from his pocket and put it in front of Su Ruoro. "This is for you." Su Ruoro recognized this card. It was one of the cards that long-haired, savage-looking man had brought back for Qin Feng. There was still $300,000 in it. She was given a big fright and hurriedly pushed it back to Qin Feng, saying, "This is Group Leader Wang's money. I can't take it." why you should give it back to him. Give it back to him? Do you think there's something wrong with my head? Qin Feng's expression became severe as he pushed the card back. If I tell you to take it, just take it, all right? Su Ruoro was so scared that she put down her fork and knife and didn't dare to continue eating. But this is someone else's money. I can't take it. Then are you going to tell Wang Chao that I stole his money? Qin Feng felt a bit angry. I won't say that. And what if he asks what happened to the money? What will you say? Qin Feng continued to ask. Su Ruoro had never lied in her life and didn't know what to do. Qin Feng understood Su Ruoro's honest and kind personality and knew that this would be quite harsh on her. As such, he asked, Ruoro, do you dislike Wang Chao? Su Ruoro hesitated for a while before nodding. She had only been working at the royal group for a week, but every time Wang Chao looked at her, she felt quite disgusted. Qin Feng, please don't tell group leader Wang, Su Ruoro said fearfully. Qin Feng smiled. Don't worry, why would I tell him? Since you dislike him, help me screw him over once. If he asks you about the money, just say we weren't able to collect it. Isn't that fine? Su Ruoro sank into silence and did not reply. Qin Feng suddenly grabbed Su Ruoro's hand as he looked at her sincerely. Ruoro, can you lie just once for me? There were quite a few people in the restaurant, and Su Ruoro felt quite nervous when Qin Feng grabbed her hand. However, she didn't want to withdraw her hand, for fear of hurting Qin Feng's feelings. At this moment, a beautiful figure outside walked past where Qin Feng and Su Ruoro were sitting. Zhao Lingxian's body suddenly stopped as she saw this scene through the glass. She had thought that after saying goodbye to Qin Feng that time, they would drift apart and would become strangers. However, after receiving Hua Ming's call and hearing that Qin Feng was at a restaurant, she couldn't help but go out of the house. After walking for a while, she naturally came to the Western-style restaurant. Standing in front of the window, Zhao Lingxian saw Qin Feng hold a pure and pretty girl's hand as he earnestly looked at her. Their meal was also the couple's meal, causing Zhao Lingxian's heart to ache. When she saw the 28 bicycle parked outside the restaurant, she couldn't hold in the tears anymore. In the end, Qin Feng was still that hedonistic and dissolute young master. He had long since changed from that big brother who would play with her. He would no longer spend his time with an arrogant big miss like her, and would instead go out seducing beauties. She felt that things could never return to the way they were before, and she turned and left, feeling incredibly lonely. If only love was as beautiful as at first sight, why should the autumn wind bother to pity deserted painted fans? Chapter 84. Chapter 84. Smashing a car with an iron fist. Of course, Qin Feng didn't see Zhao Lingxian. After waiting for a while, he finally saw Su Ruoro give a slight nod. Qin Feng, just this once. Su Ruoro pulled back her hand. This would be her first time lying, and it was for a man. Her heart felt quite chaotic. Qin Feng gave a slight smile and put the bank card into Su Ruoro's pocket. Just keep the card. You're not allowed to give it back to me. Otherwise, after we finish eating, I'll take you to a hotel room and make it so that you won't be able to get out of bed for the rest of the day. Qin Feng's joking threat was quite lewd, and Su Ruoro didn't dare to pass the card back to him again. She carefully made sure that the card was secure in her pocket. After all, this was $300,000. It was the first time in her life she had so much money. Ruoro, don't think too much. This money's a down payment. In future, if I get bored at work and want to touch your legs, just cooperate. After seeing Su Ruoro's heavy expression, Qin Feng decided to make a joke. However, after making this joke, Su Ruoro felt even more nervous. In the end, their meal was still quite enjoyable. It was the first time Su Ruoro had eaten at such a high-class restaurant before, and she felt that everything here was quite delicious. It was just that everything here was too expensive. When she found out that the meal had costed $3,500, she felt incredibly guilty. Qin Feng, when I get my pay next month, I'll treat you as well. After walking out of the restaurant, because Su Ruoro felt quite guilty, she took the initiative to get on Qin Feng's 28 bicycle. Qin Feng patted Su Ruoro's head. Sure, After all, you're a wealthy little miss with $300,000 now. Su Ruoro smiled, but didn't say anything. She wouldn't use the money on the card. When she received her salary, she would treat Qin Feng with her own money. After making sure Su Ruoro was sitting properly, Qin Feng prepared to ride the bicycle back to the company when suddenly an Audi A6 flew towards them from behind, which threatened to crash into the 28 bicycle. Qin Feng hurriedly grabbed Su Ruoro and launched off the bicycle, rolling on the ground as he narrowly avoided the Audi. After helping Su Ruoro up, Qin Feng saw that the Audi did not stop, but rather spun, then sped towards them again. Qin Feng could now confirm that the car had not almost hit them because the driver lost control. There was someone in the car who wanted to take his life. He saw the driver. It was Hao Yun's father, Hao Nan. Hao Nan's eyes were bloodshot, and his expression was vicious and savage. He had just received a text from a mysterious person, which gave him Qin Feng's location. He hurriedly drove over, and was surprised to see that Qin Feng really was at the Western-style restaurant. After aiming at Qin Feng, he had slammed his foot on the accelerator and sent the car shooting towards him. He wished he could dice Qin Feng into 1,000 pieces, and was trying to use his car to ram Qin Feng to death. The Audi A6 was like a severe flood and a fierce beast as it roared, once again flying towards Qin Feng. With Qin Feng's speed, he could have easily dodged the car. However, Su Ruoro had been scared stiff, and she covered her ears as she screamed and forgot to even run. Naturally, Qin Feng couldn't leave her behind, so he could only push her to the side. As such, he lost his chance to dodge. Seeing the Audi speeding towards him, Qin Feng's expression darkened as his eyes released chilling killing intent. He suddenly roared in anger as he sent all of his strength into a punch towards the Audi. Boom! As his punch landed, a small crater appeared in the Audi's bonnet. The speeding car suddenly stopped, and its wheels created black burn marks on the ground, causing a painful screeching sound. Qin Feng was knocked flying by the force from the car, and he smashed into the wall behind him. The wall's paint fell off as Qin Feng coughed up a mouthful of blood. Luckily, he had his flying dragon armor on, and had used his inner chi as well as 6x strength to soften the impact. As such, apart from his arm feeling numb and his insides feeling like they were rolling around, he was mostly fine. Qin Feng, are you all right? Su Ruoro hurriedly ran over to Qin Feng and helped him up. She had been frightened to tears. She knew that Qin Feng hadn't been able to dodge the car because he had pushed her into safety. Su Ruoro felt deeply guilty at the sight of him coughing up blood. Qin Feng wasn't that weak. He pulled Su Ruoro behind him as he coldly gazed at Hao Nan sitting inside the car. After that massive impact, he wasn't fine either. The car's airbags activated, and Qin Feng could see that Hao Nan was bleeding from his head. He was currently lying on an airbag, and he seemed to be unconscious. A glint of killing intent appeared in Qin Feng's eyes. He was a fairly easygoing person and wouldn't normally pursue small matters. However, he wouldn't show mercy to someone who had tried to kill him. He would only relent after that person had died. He didn't hesitate as he spent 50 hedonist points and bought a little throwing knife. His hands slightly moved as the throwing knife shot out like a bullet, piercing through the Audi's cracked windscreen and accurately burying into Hao Nan's forehead. In the blink of an eye, Hao Nan had completely disappeared from the world. Just as Qin Feng killed Hao Nan, 3 police cars drove over and quickly surrounded them. Qin Feng pulled Su Ruoro to the side as he quickly said, "Ruoro, go back to the company by yourself. Remember, don't tell anyone about what happened today." Su Ruoro was still quite worried about Qin Feng's wounds, and seeing him look so cold and determined, she could only nod and reluctantly leave. A heroine-looking policewoman walked over. "It's you again?" After receiving a call from a bystander, Lu Bingbing had quickly rushed to the scene. After seeing Qin Feng, the cold aura around her became even more intense. She gnashed her teeth as she glared at Qin Feng. She found that wherever this brat was, someone would die. After checking the dead Hao Nan in the Audi, she found that this was indeed the case. Last time when you killed someone, you relied on the Qin family's power to escape. I'll see how you get away with it this time. This time, I'll definitely make you taste justice. Lu Bingbing coldly glared at Qin Feng as she pulled him into the police car. "You're coming to the police station with me." Qin Feng did not resist, because he had already observed his surroundings. There was a security camera at the entrance of the Western-style restaurant. While it was not able to record him killing Hao Nan with the literally throwing knife, it was definitely able to record Hao Nan trying to kill him with his car. After all, he wouldn't be in danger even if he went to the police station. He would be able to spend some time with the beautiful policewoman Lu Bingbing. After coming to the North District Sub-Bureau, Lu Bingbing directly brought Qin Feng to the interrogation room. Last time, Qin Feng had escaped, so she was determined not to let Qin Feng get his way this time. "Confess, did you kill Hao Nan?" Lu Bingbing sat down opposite Qin Feng and got straight to the main topic. "Nope," Qin Feng replied as he shook his head. "Brat, you still dare to deny it? By the time I arrived, Hao Nan was already dead. Only you were around, and there's enmity between your Qin family and the Hao family. If it wasn't you, who killed Hao Nan?" Lu Bingbing was so furious that she wanted to flip the table, and she sent out an incredibly cold aura. This beautiful policewoman was simply too fiery-tempered. Of course, her figure was even more fiery. Qin Feng wondered if he threw Su Ruoro and Lu Bingbing together for a month. Would their personalities be changed by each other, letting him complete 2 quests? He suddenly shook his head. With Su Ruoro's weak personality, she would probably be scared to death by Lu Bingbing within an hour. Lu Bingbing savagely slammed her fist down on the desk when Qin Feng ignored her. "Stinking brat, I'm asking you a question. Stop acting dumb." Qin Feng came back to his senses and he smiled at Lu Bingbing as he replied, "Beautiful policewoman, don't be so fierce. I already told you clearly, I didn't kill him. If I knew who killed Hao Nan, I would go and visit them and thank his 18 generations of ancestors." Lu Bingbing was infuriated by Qin Feng's flippancy. Since she had become a police officer, it was the first time she had met such a cheeky hooligan who was so hard to deal with. Not only did he have a powerful background, but he was also quite strong himself. As a Stage 2 expert, she was one of the strongest in the police force. And yet, when she had exchanged blows with Qin Feng last time, she had been the weaker side. "Beautiful policewoman, have you been charmed by this young master, so you dragged me here? It's because you wanted to keep dancing with me, right?" After Lu Bingbing was angered into speechlessness, Qin Feng continued to mock her. Lu Bingbing's hand gripped the gun at her waist. She wanted to pull it out and execute Qin Feng on the spot. After staring at each other for a while, the interrogation room's door was opened as a policewoman walked in with some documents. "Director Lu, this is the evidence from the Western-style restaurant's security footage. Please have a look." After placing the documents on the desk, the policewoman retreated out. Qin Feng had never seen this policewoman before. He guessed that after Xiao Lu had been suspended for trying to kill him with the Hao family's elder, she had been sent here to replace him. Lu Bingbing glared at Qin Feng, then sat down and started to read the documents carefully. Most of the evidence was about how Hao Nan was trying to hit Qin Feng with his Audi. After sending Qin Feng flying, he died. But there was no evidence that Qin Feng killed Hao Nan. However, there was an abundance of evidence that Hao Nan had tried to kill Qin Feng. After looking through the documents, Lu Bingbing's face became colder and colder, and she gnashed her teeth as she stared at Qin Feng. She simply didn't know how this brat had mysteriously killed Hao Nan. However, without any evidence at all, it seemed that Qin Feng would be bailed out by someone from the Qin family very soon. Chapter 85. Chapter 85. I'll come next time to teach you to dance. After she thought about how this person had continuously caused trouble for her and had even dared to flirt with her, Lu Bingbing was filled with anger. She had no thoughts about releasing Qin Feng, and after she thought for a moment, a hint of a smile appeared in her eyes. A charming expression suddenly appeared on Lu Bingbing's icy face, and she swayed her voluptuous body as she walked over to Qin Feng. "Young Master Qin, you're so smart. I brought you here today because I wanted to dance an elegant waltz with you." Lu Bingbing's voice was usually incredibly cold, so as he heard this, Qin Feng felt goosebumps rise up along his body. Of course, he wasn't stupid enough to think that Lu Bingbing had really fallen for him and wanted to dance with him. However, he gave a lewd smile as he stared at Lu Bingbing's chest. "Big Beauty Lu, waltzes are too boring. How about I teach you the chest-shaking dance that I invented?" As soon as Lu Bingbing heard this dance's name, her expression became cold again. However, in order to take down Qin Feng, a warm smile reappeared on her face. Sure, teach me then." "Big Beauty Lu, you actually possess quite a bit of talent for learning this dance, as it has strict requirements for the dancers. With a flawless body like yours, all you need to remember is that you need to shake your chest as much as possible." Qin Feng looked incredibly sincere as he came over to Lu Bingbing and started to help her take off her clothes. An icy aura erupted from Lu Bingbing's body, but she gritted her teeth and endured. However, if Qin Feng went too far, she vowed to shoot him on the spot. Qin Feng expertly undid the buttons on Lu Bingbing's jacket and helped her take it off, but did not go any further. Inside, Lu Bingbing was wearing a thin, white blouse through which her black bra could be faintly seen. "Big Beauty Lu, it's probably better to take off all your clothes if you want to do this dance properly. I'll help you." After taking off her jacket, Qin Feng started to help her take off her blouse. Lu Bingbing simply couldn't endure anymore, and luckily, at this moment, a patter of footsteps could be heard coming towards the interrogation room. She looked out and saw that it was the Qin family's bodyguard bringing a large group of people over, and a look of amusement appeared in her eyes. She grabbed Qin Feng's hand and pressed it against her chest as she leaned forwards into Qin Feng's embrace and started to scream, "Oi, you hooligan! You bastard! Let me go! You dared to sexually assault me? Help! Someone help! There's a pervert here!" The interrogation room's door was thrown open, and Uncle Fu walked in with some of the Qin family's experts. All of them, including Uncle Fu, had some small wounds and their clothes were a bit tattered, as if they had just come from a fight. Behind Uncle Fu was also the North District Subbureau's director, Director Zhang. They had heard the noise from within the interrogation room, but the scene that greeted them left them completely dumbfounded. The fiery-tempered police beauty, Lu Bingbing, was lying in Qin Feng's embrace with her jacket off. 2 buttons of her blouse were undone, and Qin Feng's hand was pressed on one of her breasts. After these people had run in, Lu Bingbing put on a frightened appearance as she hurriedly ran over to Director Zhang. She looked teary as she said, "Director Zhang, thank goodness you're here. You all saw that Qin Feng dared to violate me in the interrogation room. This person's worse than a beast, and even dares to sexually assault a police officer. Director Zhang, you have to capture him and give me justice." Director Zhang's face darkened. He had been ordered here by the Acropolis City's head bureau's Director Ma to release Qin Feng. However, seeing that Qin Feng had dared to do such a thing to Lu Bingbing, Director Zhang was stuck in a dilemma. Director Zhang knew about Lu Bingbing's background. If this matter was spread to the capital's Lu family and old Chief Lu found out that his precious granddaughter had been violated in Director Zhang's subbureau by a hedonistic young master, his days would be over. Director Zhang gave Uncle Fu a serious look. "Ah, Fu, you also saw what happened. I can't just pretend that I didn't see it." Uncle Fu's expression was also quite grave, and even he didn't know how to defend Qin Feng. He felt quite frustrated. Even if Qin Feng was feeling horny, he couldn't just lay his hands on a policewoman. A policewoman with a powerful background, at that. "Director Zhang, if you don't mind, I want to arrest Qin Feng for attempted rape, which has a sentence of 3 years. If you can't decide on this, I'll call my grandfather to make a decision on this." Lu Bingbing was determined to take down Qin Feng this time, and took out her phone, preparing to call her family. Director Zhang was so scared that cold sweat erupted all over his body. After seeing that he had no choice, he could only say to his 2 subordinates behind him, "Go and lock Qin Feng up." The 2 men walked over towards Qin Feng, and Uncle Fu didn't know what to say. However, Qin Feng lazily straightened his body as he casually spoke. "AI, your North District Subbureaus really opened this young master's eyes. This beauty policewoman tried to violate me, but I maintained a pure body and heart and refused her. In the end, she decided to frame me and sentence me to jail. However, I simply don't understand. With my hands handcuffed together, how could I possibly violate her? With her skills, I'm sure she'd be able to cripple me first. Qin Feng walked over to Director Zhang and Lu Bingbing and moved his hands apart, revealing the silver handcuffs on his wrists. Lu Bingbing's expression suddenly changed as she reached behind her back and found that her handcuffs were gone and were now on Qin Feng's wrists. You. Lu Bingbing was angered to the point that her face became pale, but she couldn't say anything. Uncle Fu's eyes lit up as he hurriedly spoke. Haha, it seems that this was all a misunderstanding. Director Lu, our family's young master likes to play jokes and says whatever he likes. However, he is kind-hearted and does not possess any malice, so if he offended you, please forgive him. After saying some words of courtesy to Lu Bingbing, Uncle Fu looked over to Director Zhang. Director Zhang, since this was all a misunderstanding, I'll be taking the young master back now. After hearing the young master had been taken in again, Mr. Qin has been quite worried and is currently waiting for the young master. Ahaha, yes, that's right. Since the misunderstanding has been cleared, Qin Feng can leave now. As for the incident at the restaurant, through reviewing the evidence, we have concluded that Hao Nan tried to injure Qin Feng using his car, and Qin Feng was the victim. I deeply apologize for not being able to protect him. Director Zhang could also tell that Lu Bingbing deeply hated Qin Feng and wanted to frame him. However, he never thought that Qin Feng would be able to turn the tables, and not only did he take advantage of her, he was also portrayed as the victim. Since the matter had been resolved, the worried Director Zhang let out a sigh of relief. He waved at one of the police officers behind him, who brought over a silk banner of recognition. Qin Feng, this silk banner of recognition was especially made for you, to thank you for capturing the national fugitive Zhang Fei. We never thought that he would be hiding in the Acropolis city and be posing as the Hao family's butler. Luckily, you were able to discover this. Your courage and wisdom is something that all Chinese citizens can learn from. There's also this card with $100,000 as a reward for capturing Zhang Fei. Director Zhang happily handed over the banner and bank card to Qin Feng, which Qin Feng gratefully received. Lu Bingbing felt like coughing up blood at this sight. She had brought him here to put him in jail, and now he was leaving with a silk banner and reward money. Qin Feng looked over to Lu Bingbing's icy face as he came over to her and put his arm around her. He lifted up the red banner as he smiled and said, Uncle Fu, take a photo for us. Last time. If it wasn't for Director Lu rushing to the scene at the Amethyst Dragon Palace and controlling the scene for me, I might not have been able to return alive. As such, half of the glory should go to Beauty Lu. Qin Feng's actions gave Lu Bingbing a big fright, and just as she was going to attack him, Uncle Fu took out his phone and started to take photos, so she could only look over with a serious expression. Gotcha. After the photo had been taken, Qin Feng quickly moved away from Lu Bingbing. Even if she wanted to retaliate, she had lost the chance. Director Lu, Uncle Fu and I will be leaving now. Dad's quite worried about me, so I'll come next time to teach you to dance. Qin Feng grinned at Lu Bingbing, and before she could explode, he quickly brought the Qin family's people with him and left. After seeing the gleeful look on Qin Feng's face, flames burned in Lu Bingbing's eyes as she inwardly cursed his 18 generations of ancestors. Uncle Fu, what happened to you all? As soon as they exited the police station, Qin Feng's gaze became serious as he looked at the wounds on Uncle Fu's body. The black robe that Uncle Fu wore was in tatters and was filled with holes. There were streaks of blood running down his arms and legs, and there was a small cut on his face. It was the first time Qin Feng had seen Uncle Fu in such a state. However, Uncle Fu gave a clear laugh. They're all superficial wounds. I'm fine. We were fighting a fierce battle with the Hao family when we received a call from Mr. Qin, telling us that something had come up with young master, so we hurried over. Qin Feng had not paid much attention to the battle between the Qin family and Hao family. He felt that his life hadn't changed at all, and he had lived as he always had. However, seeing the state Uncle Fu and the Qin family's loyal bodyguards were in, Qin Feng only realized that his life of peace and serenity was bought with their efforts and deaths. Uncle Fu, how's the situation? Chapter 86. Chapter 86, The Lecherous Wang Chao. Young master, We've already eliminated more than half of the Hao family's forces. Only their core forces are left. From Hao Nan's actions today, it seems that the Hao family is already desperate and have made preparations to take the Qin family down with them. I'm sure that in the next few days, they'll do crazier and crazier things. So young master must be careful. Please don't go out if there's no reason to. Thinking to Qin Feng's hedonistic and dissolute personality, Uncle Fu realized this warning was probably made in vain. Thank you, all of you, for your hard work. When all of this is over, I'll ask Dad to greatly reward you all, Qin Feng said as he looked at Uncle Fu sincerely. Young master, this is what we should be doing. I'll take you back now. No need. I'm going back to the company for a bit. Go and attend to your matters and don't worry about me. Considering Qin Feng's current strength, Uncle Fu took the Qin family's people and left. Qin Feng hurried back to the royal group's building by himself. He was sure that Su Ruoro was still anxiously waiting for him there. After Su Ruoro had left Qin Feng, she had immediately returned to the royal group and had sat there, while feeling incredibly worried about him. Work had now finished and most of the sales department's employees were starting to leave. The hall became emptier and emptier, until only Su Ruoro was left. She looked at the empty seat opposite to hers and gritted her teeth, deciding to wait a bit longer to see if Qin Feng would return. Ruoro, you're working so hard? Work is already over, but you're not going home yet? After seeing that Su Ruoro hadn't left yet, Wang Chao had been pretending to work in his office. When everyone left, he smiled as he walked out to where she was. G Group Leader Wang. Su Ruoro suddenly came back to her senses. Wang Chao had sat down next to her, which made her feel a little uncomfortable, so she slightly moved her chair away. Wang Chao grinned as he shifted his chair over, getting closer to her as he said, Ruoro, you went to collect the debt with Qin Feng, but why did you come back by yourself? Is he all right? When he saw that Su Ruoro had come back by herself, Wang Chao felt quite delighted. He guessed that Qin Feng had probably been beaten by Chairman Su's people into hospital. Wang Chao didn't take this stupid newbie seriously at all. He had some other things to do. Su Ruoro had promised Qin Feng that she wouldn't tell Wang Chao what had happened today, so she told him a small lie. Wang Chao casually smiled. How could he believe that Qin Feng had some other things to do, and that he had not returned to the company? He was now fully certain that Qin Feng was in hospital, and felt even more delighted. Now that it was just him and Su Ruoro in the office, an evil smile appeared on Wang Chao's face. Ruoro, I've seen how hard you've been working and how diligent you are. Think I'll be reflecting that to Manager Li soon, so that you can become the assistant group leader. Wang Chao suddenly held onto Su Ruoro's little hand, causing her to stand up in fright and duck away. Thank you, group leader Wang. I still have some things to do, so I'll be going now. Su Ruoro could see the evil look in Wang Chao's eyes, which made one run away. However, Wang Chao blocked the exit as he smiled and said, Ruoro, don't be afraid. I won't eat you. You've just graduated from university and entered into society, so there are many things you probably don't know at the company. In truth, if you want to do well in the company and climb higher, you can't simply rely on your efforts. You need to form a good relationship with your superiors. Don't you think so, Ruoro? Wang Chao's smile became more and more lecherous. He had wanted Su Ruoro for a long time, and after being presented with such a good opportunity, how could he let it go? He once again stretched out his hand and caressed her cheek. G Group Leader Wang, please don't do this. I really want to go now. Su Ruoro picked up a document and held it out in front of her as her small body trembled. She wanted to squeeze her way out, but Wang Chao was defiantly blocking the exit, making it impossible for her to leave. Ruoro, don't be so ungrateful. I'll have you know that although working at the sales department can be quite tiring, it's the department that makes the most money. There are so many employees who try to get on my good side, but you're the one I set my eyes on. I've given you face, so if you obediently be mine, I'll give you the best clients. If you want to earn money, all it'll take is a few phone calls. Su Ruoro's continuous resistance made Wang Chao start to lose his patience, as his expression darkened and he savagely glared at Su Ruoro. He had been observing Su Ruoro all this time. and knew that he would be able to force this weak and timid girl into submission if he acted in a more overbearing way. Indeed, Su Ruoro became so scared that she didn't dare to move anymore, and lowered her head, not knowing what to do. Seeing that Su Ruoro wasn't planning on resisting anymore, Wang Chao grinned evilly as he leaned in and breathed in her fragrance. Ruoro, let me properly pleasure you in the office today. Wang Chao coldly laughed as he stretched out his hand towards Su Ruoro's chest, the area he had been dreaming of for so long. Ruoro, I'm back. Before Wang Chao's pig trotters could land on her chest, Qin Feng's voice rang out. Su Ruoro's teary eyes lit up. She didn't know where the courage came from, but she pushed aside Wang Chao and ran towards the sales department's exit. Just as she was about to reach the exit, she saw Qin Feng's handsome, smiling face. All of the unhappiness within her exploded out as she leapt into Qin Feng's embrace. All of a sudden, it seemed as if the world had quietened down, and she felt a strange sense of peace and security. Even Qin Feng was dumbfounded. Although Su Ruoro's personality was quite gentle and weak, she wasn't the type to take the initiative to hug him. Seeing how much she had suffered, Qin Feng gently patted her back as he asked, Ruoro, what's going on? He looked around the hall and saw Wang Chao standing there, his eyes ignited with coldness. Nothing, Qin Feng, let's go. Su Ruoro didn't dare to tell him what had just happened. After all, Qin Feng was just a new sales representative. How could he do anything against Wang Chao? She didn't want Qin Feng to offend Wang Chao because of her. Tell me what happened. Qin Feng gently pushed aside Su Ruoro with flames in his eyes, causing her to shiver in fear. Did Wang Chao do something to you? And no. Su Ruoro desperately shook her head. Wang Chao was so angry that his face completely darkened. Qin Feng had interrupted him at such an important moment, and seeing that he was fine, Wang Chao became so angry that he felt like coughing up blood. He couldn't understand how this brat hadn't been beaten up by Chairman Su and his people. Chapter 87. Chapter 87, Pikachu and Black Turtle. Qin Feng, don't scare Ruoro like that. We were just talking about clients, so what are you yelling about? And also, didn't your elder tell you to go collect a debt? What the hell have you been doing? I don't believe that you went to the Vodia department store at all. The company's paying you money and yet, you've been mucking around. Tomorrow, your elder's going to report you to the managers and… Qin Feng couldn't stand Wang Chao anymore. His way of making him shut up was simple but effective. He punched Wang Chao's face, making his nose crooked and splattering his face with blood. Wang Chao was so furious that his entire face twisted as he pointed at Qin Feng and yelled, Fudge, you dared to hit me? Your elder. In order to prove that he really did dare to hit Wang Chao, Qin Feng then kicked Wang Chao in the abdomen, knocking him to the ground. Qin Feng had used quite a bit of strength in this kick, and Wang Chao felt that his bones were going to collapse. He held his throbbing abdomen as he looked at Qin Feng in fear. His domineering look was long gone. Don't come over here. I'll just make a small report on you. Why you can continue working properly, and we'll pretend this never happened. After witnessing how strong Qin Feng was, Wang Chao started to beg for mercy. However, Qin Feng didn't plan to let him off so easily. Just as he was going to continue hitting Wang Chao, Su Ruoro grabbed his arm and said, Qin Feng, please, don't hit him anymore. Let's hurry and go. Seeing how frightened she looked, Qin Feng couldn't bear to refuse. He glared at Wang Chao and coldly said, Ruoro belongs to your elder. You'd better not have any thoughts towards her in future. Qin Feng had become so angry because Wang Chao had bullied Su Ruoro. Although Wang Chao had tried to screw him over, he couldn't be bothered to make a fuss out of it. When Qin Feng affectionately put his arm around Su Ruoro as they left, Wang Chao's face darkened as a look of ruthlessness appeared in his eyes. He vowed that one day, he would kill Qin Feng. Thank you, Qin Feng. I'll be going now. After leaving the building, Su Ruoro headed home while Qin Feng rode the 28 bicycle back to the Qin residence. After arriving home, he found that butler Wang was making dinner, and that his father and Han Ying had not come back yet. Qin Feng went up 3 floors to his own bedroom. Qin Feng casually took off his clothes and put on a pair of beach shorts as he lay bare-chested on the large, soft bed. He had become quite interested in the fusion function, but had been cut off by Wang Chao. He now hurriedly opened up the system and started to look through it again. Within the fusion function system, creatures that could be fused were split into sky, earth, and water. The most basic earth creatures costed 100 hedonist points, water creatures costed 200 hedonist points, while sky creatures costed 300 hedonist points. After killing Liang Zhenwei, Qin Feng had received a reward of 1,000 hedonist points. After spending 50 hedonist points on the literally throwing knife to kill Hao Nan, he still had 950 hedonist points. He was quite eager to buy the Wind Blade martial skill, as he would be able to use his inner chi to continuously fire wind blades. The literally throwing knives were 50 hedonist points each, so Qin Feng couldn't keep using them to kill people. That was simply unsustainable. However, he was also incredibly interested in the fusion function. In the end, he decided to spend these 950 hedonist points on the fusion function. I wish I had more hedonist points. Qin Feng inwardly cursed. After give it some thought, Qin Feng decided to first buy 2 earth creatures to try it out. He suddenly thought of Tom and Jerry, which he used to wow when he was younger, and spent 200 hedonist points to buy a yellow cat and a brown mouse. Ding! Congratulations, host, for successfully buying pets. Would you like to fuse them for free? When Qin Feng bought them, a system announcement rang out. Fuse. As he gave the order, a large furnace appeared in Qin Feng's mind. The 2 cute animals were thrown in, and the large furnace started to spin. Half a minute later, a new creature, surrounded by light, rose up out of the furnace and entered the Hedonist Sovereign System's pet inventory. Qin Feng immediately opened his pet inventory to look at this new earth creature. Pikachu. HP 1. Battle power 1. Agility 1. Skill. Wind speed, becomes fast as wind. Hidden skill. 100,000 lightning. Hidden skill has a certain chance of being activated. Does not have a 100% chance of being activated. Intelligence. Can understand human speech. Status. Elementary cute pet. Elementary cute pet. Elementary awakened pet. Intermediate awakened pet. Advanced awakened pet. Ultra awakened pet. Sovereign awakened pet. System announcement. The fused Pikachu has gained the cat's sensitive detection abilities, as well as the mouse's gutless personality. Please do not scare the Pikachu. If it is scared to death, the system will not take responsibility. Qin Feng's eyes were almost blinded by Fused Pet's name. Now, he realized that a Pikachu was simply a cross between a mouse and a cat. No wonder it looked like a mouse and a cat. After looking through the Pikachu's stats, Qin Feng brought out the palm-sized, cute-looking creature onto his bed. Qin Feng scooped it into his hand and looked at it closely. Most of its fur was yellow, but its claws and ears were brown. It also had 3 orderly stripes on its back and looked quite cute and pretty. It was currently using its tiny pink tongue to lick Qin Feng's hand. Pikachu. Pikachu suddenly looked at Qin Feng and excitedly jumped up. Qin Feng frowned. Not only did this look like the Pikachu from the show, it even talked in the same way. It seemed that Pikachu was hungry, so Qin Feng poured a cup of milk and brought it over. Pikachu immediately ran over and happily lapped at the milk. Qin Feng was only just satisfied with this fusion. This little thing was like the little pig. It could only be kept as a cute pet and didn't have any battle capabilities that Qin Feng needed. Now that he had the fusion function, Qin Feng wanted to be able to fuse a super powerful pet. It at least had to look scary. If it could scare someone to death just by its looks, that would be perfect. Seeing that he still had 750 hedonist points, Qin Feng started to look through the water creatures. He now more or less understood the fusion system. After fusion, the 2 creatures' looks, personalities, and powers would be combined. This time, he did not impulsively buy 2 water creatures. Instead, he looked through them all until he was familiar with them, then thought to one of China's ancient mythical beasts, the black turtle. The black turtle was a legend in China and was supposedly a combination of a turtle and a snake. It was also called dark black or dark north. Just like the other 3 mythical beasts, The black turtle was supposedly a being that was made from 28 constellations. In the ancient times, people believed that snakes were intelligent, shrewd, and brought wealth, while turtles had a tough shell that could protect them, were resistant to hunger and thirst, and had longevity. Ling Chun was quite interested in this sort of auspicious, ancient godly beast. If he could fuse a black turtle, its battle power would surely be heaven-defying once he awakened it. As such, Qin Feng looked through the snakes and turtles. Because he wanted to fuse a super-powerful godly beast, the choice of the turtle and snake would be incredibly important. According to Qin Feng's thinking, the snake would bring offensive power while the turtle would bring defensive power. Snakes were agile and fast, and were thus suited for attacking. In that case, it would be best to choose the snake with the most lethal venom. On the other hand, turtles were slow, but had high defensive capabilities and possessed longevity. Thus, they were suited for defending. It would be best to choose the turtle with the greatest longevity. After going through this in his head, it became much easier to choose a turtle and snake. In the end, he picked a many-banded kite and a sea turtle. Many-banded kites were the most venomous snakes in China and had white and black bands on its body. Sea turtles lived fairly long lives and could survive for around 100 years. They were usually found around the Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean, and Indian Ocean, and mainly ate seaweed. They had a pair of frontal bones on their forehead and had oar-like limbs. Their frontal limbs were longer than their back limbs, each of which contained a claw. Their head, neck, and limbs couldn't be withdrawn into its shell. Ding! Congratulations, host, for successfully buying a many-banded kite and a sea turtle. Would you like to fuse them for free? As a friendly reminder, the host can spend 100 hedonist points to save a single characteristic for a creature. After hearing this system announcement, Qin Feng did not hurry to fuse the two creatures. Instead, he thought about it, then spent 200 hedonist points to save the turtle's longevity and the snake's venomous attack. In an instant, Qin Feng's 950 hedonist points dropped to 150 hedonist points. Qin Feng was incredibly excited about this fusion. Fuse. As Qin Feng gave the order, the large furnace appeared in his mind, and after a whole minute, a fused creature arose. It was a creature with a snake's head and turtle's body. Black turtle. HP 1. Battle power 1. Agility 1. Skills. Venom bubble. Many-banded kite uses venom to create bubbles which can paralyze enemies and cause AoE damage. Immortality. Sea turtle unique skill. Unlimited lifespan. Hidden skill. Tsunami roar. Sea turtle hidden skill has a certain chance of being activated. Does not have a 100% chance of being activated. Intelligence. Can understand human speech. Status. Elementary cute pet. Elementary cute pet. Elementary awakened pet. Intermediate awakened pet. Advanced awakened pet. Ultra awakened pet. Sovereign awakened pet. System announcement. You have successfully obtained the black turtle. Because the host has saved the many-banded kite's strong venomous attack and the sea turtle's longevity, it is a rare aquatic super pet. Qin Feng was delighted with the black turtle's description. With only a slight thought, the black turtle appeared on his bed. Chapter 88. Chapter 88. Not enough beauties. Bad review. Compared to Pikachu, this black turtle looked much scarier and was twice as big. The black turtle had the sea turtle's body, while the many-banded kite's body was also fused into it within the shell. The snake's head had become the sea turtle's tail, and it was currently looking around with curiosity. Its body was quite nimble and had a full 360-degree view of its surroundings. The sea turtle's appearance was quite lazy. Its eyes were half closed, as if it was going to fall asleep. Suddenly, the many-banded kite wrapped itself around Qin Feng's arm, opening its mouth towards him and giving him a big fright. Master, don't worry. The black turtle is your battle pet and possess intelligence. It's able to understand Master's words and will follow Master's orders, but definitely won't harm Master. This is just its way of showing its affection. The little pig's voice sounded out. Qin Feng relaxed. He wouldn't be able to get used to this sort of affection for a while. He got off his bed and put the black turtle into his big aquarium. It was fused from two aquatic creatures, so it would be better to put it in the water. After fusing an earth creature, Pikachu, and a water creature, the black turtle, Qin Feng wanted to fuse a sky creature. However, with his pitiful 150 hedonist points, he could only give up on that idea. Qin Feng felt quite bored as he lay on his bed. He realized that before the battle between the Qin family and Hao family ended, he would probably have to stay at the Qin residence. However, only Butler Wang resided here, and a 50-year-old man simply didn't fit his aesthetic requirements. Qin Feng took out his phone and posted a recruitment ad, which contained a very simple message. Personal housekeeper wanted. Requirements: tall, pretty, good figure, virgin, willing to warm the bed. If you can fulfill the above, you can have whatever salary you want. As Qin Feng posted the ad, a mischievous smile appeared on his face as he went downstairs to have dinner. When he arrived at the dining hall, Qin Huang was already sitting at the table, reading a financial newspaper. Seeing that Qin Feng had come down, he put down the newspaper. Feng, come over here. Qin Feng sat down opposite his father. Did you kill Hao Nan? Qin Huang asked as he looked at Qin Feng seriously. Qin Feng nodded. There was no reason for him to hide anything from his father. A look of surprise flashed across Qin Huang's face. He looked up and down Qin Feng and almost couldn't recognize this son who he had raised for the past 20 years. Wasn't this his son, the hedonistic, lazy, and dissolute young Master Qin? This boy had gotten rid of the Hao family's father and son without making much of a sound, which caused the entire Hao family to go crazy. And yet, he went on with his life as if nothing had happened. Feng, in the future, if you kill the Hao family's people, be careful not to let them get anything on you. Qin Huang wasn't quite sure what to say. However, his view of Qin Feng had changed and he was quite appreciative of him. The Hao family had always opposed the Qin family, so taking this opportunity to get rid of them was quite beneficial. Qin Feng nodded as he ate his noodles. If I feel like it. At this moment, the rhythmic tapping of high heels sounded out. Qin Feng looked behind him and saw Han Ying walking down in a purple silk dress. It revealed her smooth and white calves which looked extremely alluring. Uncle Huang, Qin Feng. Han Ying naturally sat down beside Qin Feng, and a wave of fragrance floated towards him. He found that nearly her whole back was exposed, down to her waist. It seemed that she was not wearing a bra. Qin Feng looked towards her chest, his mind full of fantasies. Ying, this boy Qin Feng just does what he wants. Without waiting for you, he's already started. Please don't pay him any mind. Qin Huang said as he glared at Qin Feng. Han Ying covered her mouth as she smiled. Uncle Huang, as a junior, I've made you wait to eat. It should be me who's sorry. You should hurry and eat. Qin Feng, today was your first day at work. How did it go? Han Ying cut the steak in her plate in two and gave half of it to Qin Feng. She was quite satisfied with herself. After using her family to save Qin Feng, she had stayed beside Qin Huang every day to learn about investment, and she had been improving quite quickly. Qin Feng didn't hesitate to take the steak that Han Ying offered and devoured it in a few large mouthfuls. It's all right, but there aren't enough beauties, so I'm leaving a bad review. Han Ying and Qin Huang both laughed, and the three of them chatted away as they ate dinner. Qin Feng suddenly remembered an important matter. He looked at Qin Huang as he said, Dad, the sales department's Group 2's leader isn't a very good person. I want him fired tomorrow. Qin Huang felt a bit surprised and said with a serious expression, Qin Feng, I told you to go be a sales representative, not to review the performance of others. Do your job properly. You have no say in employment or dismissals. Qin Feng expected this reaction from Qin Huang, so he didn't really mind. Worst comes to worst, he would annoy Wang Chao for a few more days and hopefully, he would leave by himself. His expression suddenly became serious as he looked at Qin Huang and said, Dad, there's also an incredibly important matter I want to talk to you about. It's about the work ethic of all male employees, and I hope you can take this seriously. Qin Huang put down his cutlery as he returned the serious look. He never thought that his son would find a serious problem on his first day, which made him quite impressed. "What is it, Feng?" Even Han Ying looked over as she earnestly listened. Ahem. Qin Feng first cleared his throat before saying in a noble voice, "Dad, I feel that female employees' uniforms need to be changed. Their blouses need to be V-necks with the first button a little lower. As for the skirts, they should be shorter, reaching just to their knees. This is the conclusion I've come to after a day of observation. I hope you can implement this as soon as possible." After hearing this, Qin Huang's expression darkened and Han Ying couldn't help but giggle. Qin Feng could not resist the urge to stare at her chest as it bounced. Qin Huang was so angry that he didn't say much for the rest of the dinner. As such, Qin Feng didn't dare to continue to push for the female employees' uniforms to be modified. After dinner, he returned to his room to check up on the Black Turtle and Pikachu. However, as soon as he entered, he was completely stunned. The Black Turtle had climbed out of the aquarium and the 10 or so goldfish had all been bitten to death. The aquarium was filled with red blood and black venom, making it look incredibly ghastly. Chapter 89. Chapter 89. Qin Family's Housekeeper. The Black Turtle was chasing Pikachu around with a hungry look in its eyes, as if it wanted to devour Pikachu. Luckily, the Pikachu was quite fast and looked like a gust of wind as it ran around, leaving the Black Turtle far behind. When Qin Feng walked in, the Pikachu, who had been so scared that all of its fur was standing on end, jumped onto his shoulder. It used its little pink tongue lick his cheek, trying its best to get on his good side. Pikachu. The Black Turtle waddled to Qin Feng's foot, as its fierce look disappeared and it put away its tongue. "Black Turtle, you and Pikachu are both my battle pets, so you're not allowed to bully Pikachu in the future. If I find out that you've done this again, I'll cook you and eat you." Seeing how pitiful Pikachu looked, Qin Feng scolded the Black Turtle. This Pikachu was extremely timid, so if the Black Turtle continued to scare it, it would probably die of a fright. The Black Turtle was quite obedient and looked quite guilty as it lowered its head and walked around Qin Feng's feet. After scolding the Black Turtle, Qin Feng put Pikachu back on the ground. Now, the Black Turtle did not try to eat it anymore and instead tried to play with it. When it saw this, the little pig complained, "Master, let me out. I want to play as well." With a slight thought, the little pig was also released. As he watched the three of them play together, Qin Feng felt as if he could open his own zoo and put his fused creatures in. While the three pets played together happily, Qin Feng decided to go to sleep. However, he heard a notification sound from his phone. He opened his phone and saw that there had been a reply to the housekeeper ad that he had posted. Qin Feng hurriedly added the other person's QQ and started to talk. "Please provide your age, height, weight, and 3 sizes." Within an old and worn-out room in the Acropolis city, Su Ruoro lay on a small, pink bed as she checked the QQ notification on her phone. What she saw gave her such a fright that she almost threw her phone. Su Ruoro wasn't too surprised that the sender of the message had asked for her age, height, and weight. But why did they ask for her 3 sizes as well? Weren't they just recruiting a housekeeper for the Qin family? Could it be that a big family like the Qin family had stringent requirements for these sorts of things as well? There was no one in the Acropolis city who didn't know about the Qin family. After Su Ruoro calmed down, she convinced herself that a big family like the Qin family most likely had high standards for the people they hired, which was why they had even asked for her 3 sizes. She bit her lips and hesitated for a while before finding a tape measure and measured herself while wearing her underwear. After measuring herself, she sent the information to the other person. Although she wasn't quite willing, she had just graduated from university and walked into society. There was no one she could rely on, and she needed the money quite badly. Being able to ask for any salary for being a housekeeper sounded quite attractive. Age, 21. Height, 168. Weight, 50 kilograms. Bust, 108. Waist, 60. Hips, 98. When he saw this message, Qin Feng's eyes lit up. Even for young Master Qin, who had experienced countless women before, these sorts of measurements were simply exquisite. Not many of the beauties he had been with had this sort of figure. "Good, very good. I feel that you would be suitable for the housekeeper job and salary won't be a problem. Now, please send a photo in your underwear with your face in it. No makeup. I want to confirm your figure and looks, and if there are no problems, you can start a work tomorrow, Qin Feng hurriedly replied. This reply made Su Ruoro's face fall. She suddenly remembered that the Qin family had a hedonistic young master who had a reputation for being loose and dissolute, and liked to sleep with beauties. Su Ruoro realized that she had probably been tricked. It was likely that the poster of this ad was the Qin family's hedonistic young master. Rather than a housekeeper, he was probably looking for a lover. No wonder he had said that the salary wasn't a problem. However, no matter how desperate Su Ruoro was for money, she wouldn't do such a thing. She angrily blocked Qin Feng's QQ. Qin Feng lay on his large bed as he excitedly waited for the other person's reply. However, after not receiving a response for a long time, he sent another message and found out that he had been blocked. Qin Feng pouted, but he didn't mind. He believed that the person had probably lied about their measurements and didn't dare to take a photo for fear of being exposed. Qin Feng looked down on these sorts of liars. Because of Hao Nan's death, the Hao family's elder had almost gone mad. In the next 3 days, the Hao family used their remaining forces to desperately attack the Qin family. This battle was extraordinarily fierce, and even Qin Huang didn't leave the Qin residence. He also forced Qin Feng to obediently stay there as well. With Uncle Fu leading a group of the Qin family's experts, Qin Feng remained within the Qin residence without feeling even a hint of danger. He would play with his pets happily each day. When he was bored, he would find Han and Ying to swim together while appreciating her bountiful breasts. However, during this time, Qin Feng had discovered a big problem. The black turtle had a voracious appetite and only ate meat. Every day, Qin Feng would take a bag of fish from the Qin residence's kin for the little guy to eat. Accordingly, the black turtle also grew incredibly quickly. In just 3 days, it had grown from being as big as a bowl to being as big as a basketball. Qin Feng even considered throwing it into the sea to see if it could fend for itself. Compared to the black turtle, Pikachu was much more normal. It didn't eat that much, but it didn't grow very quickly either. Currently, it was still palm-sized and hadn't changed much. However, it became faster and faster, and was approaching Qin Feng's maximum speed. After 3 days had passed, the battle finally concluded. Only the Hao family's elder was left, as well as his 10 or so bodyguards. All the other forces had been annihilated by the powerful Uncle Fu. Qin Feng missed Su Ruoro quite a bit after having not being at work for the past 3 days. On the 4th morning, he rode his 28th bicycle and hurried to the royal group's building. He parked his bicycle in his parking space and strolled into the building. After arriving at the sales department's hall on the 8th floor, Qin Feng immediately saw Su Ruoro diligently working. She was wearing her office uniform, with the exception of her stockings, which made her look even more alluring. Chapter 90. Chapter 90. Did I hear incorrectly? As soon as Qin Feng reached his seat, he bent down and put his big hands on Su Ruoro's smooth legs. Su Ruoro was so scared that she almost jumped up from her chest. She patted her chest as she exclaimed in fright, "Ah, Qin Feng, it's you. Why, you almost scared me to death." "Ruoro, does that mean if someone else touched your legs, you'd be scared to death? But if it's me, you wouldn't be as afraid?" As Qin Feng spoke, he gently squeezed her leg. Su Ruoro wasn't good at lying, and after hesitating for a moment, she shyly nodded. Su Ruoro didn't know why, but it was as if she had become used to Qin Feng touching her legs. She didn't feel much about this, but whenever she thought about another man touching her like this, she felt quite disgusted. Seeing Su Ruoro shyly agree, Qin Feng felt stimulated and moved his hands upwards, going deeper under her skirt. Su Ruoro was incredibly frightened, and hurriedly closed her legs, trapping Qin Feng's hand between them to prevent him from moving. She was now incredibly embarrassed. "Qin Feng, don't be like this. I need to work." Qin Feng realized that he had gone too far when he saw how Su Ruoro looked a bit unhappy. He hurriedly took his hands away. Just as he prepared to turn on his computer to play some games, a cold voice sounded out from behind him. "Qin Feng, come with me to Manager Li's office. Qin Feng looked behind him and found that Wang Chao was standing there with a gauze over his nose. It seemed that his injuries weren't light, and he looked quite amusing. "Oh, Wang Chao, what's wrong with your nose? Did someone hit you? That person must be the manifestation of righteousness." Qin Feng mocked him, causing Wang Chao's eyes to almost burst out in anger. Cut the crap. Hurry up and go to Manager Li's office." After Wang Chao angrily left, Su Ruoro couldn't help but laugh. After Wang Chao had tried to force himself on her, she now deeply disliked him. She felt quite happy when she saw Qin Feng mock him like that. "Qin Feng, be careful when you go there. Those 3 days when you didn't come to work, Wang Chao also didn't come due to his injuries. I think he came to find you as soon as he got here to take revenge," Su Ruoro warned Qin Feng in a small voice. Qin Feng acted scared as he sat back down. "Ruoro, what should I do? Wang Chao's our group leader, and he will definitely report me. I don't have any power or status in the company. It looks like I'm going to be fired." Qin Feng's pitiful look made Su Ruoro feel quite guilty. After all, she knew that Qin Feng had offended Wang Chao because of her. Her watery eyes shone with gentleness as she looked at him. "Don't be so pessimistic. You haven't been here for very long, and new people tend to make mistakes. I think it'll be fine." This was the first time Su Ruoro had tried to comfort someone, and she sounded quite awkward and cute. Qin Feng frowned as he said in disappointment, "But I accidentally angered Manager Li in the past. If she tries to take revenge as well, I'll definitely be screwed." Su Ruoro didn't know how to comfort Qin Feng, so she directly asked him, "So then what should we do?" Qin Feng, who had been looking incredibly sad, suddenly grinned as he looked back at her. "If you let me touch your legs, I won't be afraid anymore." Su Ruoro bit her lips and felt that she had been tricked. She didn't say anything for a while. "AI, forget it. I'll be going now. If I really am fired, then keep working hard," Qin Feng said as he walked away in low spirits. Su Ruoro didn't know where she obtained the courage from, but she suddenly grabbed Qin Feng's hand and moved it to her legs. She pulled his hand up, then further up, then further up. Finally, she stopped 5 centimeters below her most private region, and even her neck became red as she said, "Q Qin Feng, that's all I can let you touch. Are you still scared?" Qin Feng could feel the softness and warmth on his hand, and felt that Su Ruoro was simply too kind. He couldn't bear to continue bullying her, and took back his hand by himself and stroked her burning hot cheeks as he smiled, saying, "After Big Brother takes care of the Wang Chao dog and that white collar Li and returns in victory, I'll continue to touch your legs every day." After saying that, Qin Feng rushed off like a breeze into Liu Chen's office, leaving the embarrassed Su Ruoro with her head hanging against her chest. Wang Chao had been waiting for Qin Feng in the office for a long time. When he saw Qin Feng come in, Wang Chao's expression darkened. He had stayed in hospital for 3 days because of Qin Feng's punch and kick. Now he felt like killing him. "Look, Manager Li, I called Qin Feng here ages ago, but he only arrived just now. He's new to the company, and yet he's already showing such insubordination. This person's simply leeching off the company." Liu Chen was also quite angry upon seeing Qin Feng. Whenever he looked at her, it would always be with a perverted gaze. Only Qin Feng dared to look at her like this within the entire sales department, which made her feel incredibly uncomfortable. "Qin Feng, Group Leader Wang said that you didn't come to work for 3 days and you didn't even ask for leave. This is the biggest company in the Acropolis City, not your home. You can't just come and go as you please," Liu Chen said as she coldly stared at Qin Feng. To Qin Feng, this was his own home. However, when he thought about how angry his father had looked the previous night, he controlled himself. Regardless, he had not come for 3 days because he had been ordered not to go out by Qin Huang. He secretly sent Qin Huang a text to ask him to resolve this situation. "Manager Li, I had something incredibly important come up during those days, so I couldn't come. Don't worry, I quite like the Royal Group, so I currently don't have any plans to jump to another company," Qin Feng said as he proudly puffed up his chest and raised his head. Liu Chen and Wang Chao were both stunned, and looked at Qin Feng dumbly. After a moment, Wang Chao couldn't help but burst out in laughter. "Haha, Qin Feng, did some water leak into your brain? Right now, Manager Li and I are discussing whether to fire you. And yet you're expecting us to beg you to stay or something? Ha ha ha, your elder's going to laugh his teeth out. Wang Chao's laugh became wilder and wilder, as if he had heard the funniest joke in the world. Qin Feng was quite displeased and frowned. Before, I wasn't thinking of jumping ship, but hearing you say this, I'm not too happy about that. Now, if you don't beg me to stay, your granddaddy's really going to leave. Haha, Qin Feng, do you really think you're some sort of big shot? You want to leave? Your elder's dying for you to leave. The royal group doesn't care at all about someone lazy and unenthusiastic like you. Before, Li Yuchen hadn't been planning to fire Qin Feng. Although she was quite displeased with Qin Feng, she was someone who separated personal disputes from work. She wouldn't treat someone unfairly because of her own personal feelings. She had called Qin Feng here to admonish him. He had not come to work for 3 days and had not provided any sort of reason. However, seeing Qin Feng look so arrogant, Li Yuchen decided she might have to change her plan. At this moment, Li Yuchen's phone rang. She glared at Qin Feng as she picked up the phone. As she was listening, she responded with a couple of serious MMMs before she hung up. It was probably someone important in the company. After hanging up, the way Li Yuchen looked at Qin Feng changed. Her dark eyes were filled with shock, and after falling silent for a while, she came over to Qin Feng as she said dispassionately, Qin Feng, you can go back to work? As soon as Li Yuchen said this, Wang Chao looked as if he had eaten a bucket of dung. Today, he wanted to use Qin Feng's unexplained 3-day absence to report him to Manager Li and severely punish him. He never expected that Manager Li would let Qin Feng off so easily. Manager Li, Qin Feng didn't come to work for 3 days and didn't give any reasons. How can you? Before Wang Chao could finish speaking, the aura around Li Yuchen became icy as she coldly cut him off. Group Leader Wang, are you dissatisfied with my decision? Am I the general manager of the sales department, or are you? Wang Chao was frightened into silence. Li Yuchen was famous in the sales department for being cold, strong, and emotionless. No one dared to oppose her. Although Wang Chao couldn't understand why Li Yuchen's attitude had suddenly changed, he could only give up. In future, when he had the chance, he would punish Qin Feng. Wang Chao was about to walk out with a sour expression when Qin Feng's voice sounded out. Wait, I said that if you don't beg me to stay, I'll resign today and jump ship, Qin Feng said with his hands behind his head as he smiled at Wang Chao. Wang Chao gnashed his teeth as he spat. Leave if you want. Your elder would love for you to leave. Just as he was once again about to leave, Li Yuchen coldly spoke. Group Leader Wang, if Qin Feng really leaves because of your words, you can leave along with him? Li Yuchen's massive 180-degree change in attitude was because of the phone call she had just received. That call was from the deputy manager of the administration department, Wang Jun. He had explained the reason for Qin Feng's 3-day absence and had told Li Yuchen not to make things difficult for Qin Feng. Li Yuchen didn't know what relationship there was between Wang Jun and Qin Feng, but she couldn't afford to offend Wang Jun. As such, she could only do her best to keep Qin Feng. Manager Li, did I hear incorrectly? Wang Chao was flabbergasted as he dumbly stared at Li Yuchen. You can pretend you didn't hear anything and leave immediately. The icy aura around Li Yuchen's body became stronger. Evidently, this matter was non-negotiable. Chapter 91. Wang Chao could now clearly tell that Li Yuchen wanted him, a group leader, to beg Qin Feng, a newcomer, not to leave. He was so angry that he felt as if his internal organs were going to burn up. He stood in the office for a long time, and his expression became savage. However, when he saw Li Yuchen's cold and unyielding expression, he decided to give in. His dead fish eyes glared at Qin Feng viciously as he gnashed his teeth and said, Qin Feng, I was in the wrong. You don't need to go. Stay in the sales department and work hard under me. After Wang Chao said this, he turned to leave. Qin Feng lightly laughed. Wang Chao, is that how you beg someone? Looks like you don't really want me to stay. In that case, I won't make things difficult for you, and I'll just resign. Wang Chao, Li Yuchen coldly yelled. Wang Chao turned away from Qin Feng with an expression of ruthlessness on his face. He deeply breathed in and out before plastering a smile on his face and saying, "Qin Feng, even though you haven't come to the company for very long, I deeply recognize your outstanding performance. We simply can't afford to lose a talented person like you. As Group 2's leader, I sincerely beg you to stay." Qin Feng was satisfied with Wang Chao's attitude and patted him on the shoulder as he smiled. "Group Leader Wang, what are you being so courteous about? To be honest, I wasn't planning on leaving and was just joking with you. Who doesn't know that the Royal Group is the biggest enterprise in the Acropolis city? How could I just leave when being able to work here is my glory?" Wang Chao suppressed the anger and depression welling up within him and felt like coughing up blood. However, he had already sacrificed all dignity, so he squeezed out a smile and said, "Qin Feng, it's good that you think that way. I'll take good care of you in the sales department from now on." Wang Chao spoke those last few words through gritted teeth, then quickly left the office. After returning to his group leader's office, Wang Chao's face fell. He cursed Qin Feng's 18 generations of ancestors, but he still felt utterly enraged. He wished he could give Qin Feng a good beating, and even break his hands and feet and turn him into a cripple. He was angered beyond reason, and had no idea why Manager Li had suddenly changed her stance. However, he didn't link it to the phone call that she had received. In his eyes, Qin Feng was just a tiny sales representative. He had plenty of methods for dealing with such people. After thinking for a while, Wang Chao thought of a good way to take care of Qin Feng. He picked up his phone and made a call, and soon, 2 men from the sales department walked in with smiles on their faces. "Big Brother Chao, what would you like us to do?" These 2 men were called Xiao Ma and Xiao Qiu. They were part of the sales department's Group 2, and both studied sports and education at university. They were tall and well-built, and looked like excellent fighters. In the past, whenever there were disobedient employees, Wang Chao would ask them to give those people warnings in secret. This time, he had naturally called them here to deal with Qin Feng. "Xiao Ma, Xiao Qiu, you both know the new Qin Feng, right?" "Yes. Big Brother Chao, did that brat offend you? Don't worry, leave it to us." Although this was the 5th day since Qin Feng had been employed, and he had missed 3 days, almost everyone in the sales department knew about him. This was because as soon as this guy came, he became incredibly close with the sales department's pure goddess Su Ruoro. This instantly made him an enemy to all the men within the sales department. Even if Wang Chao didn't ask Xiao Ma and Xiao Qiu, they would have gone to find Qin Feng in private to have a good chat with him. "Remember, I want you to be as savage as you want. In fact, it'd be great if he had to lie in a hospital bed for a month," Wang Chao said with a dark expression. "Alrighty, don't worry Big Brother Chao, we'll definitely get that done for you. After you do this, I'll give you guys a big client. Alright, go and prepare. Once Qin Feng leaves the manager's office, go and take care of him." After Wang Chao left, Qin Feng continued to stand in Liu Chen's office, not at all in a hurry to leave. Deep down, Liu Chen didn't like Qin Feng, as she felt that he was quite shallow. After Wang Chao left, she ignored him and worked on this month's sales report. She suddenly felt a warm breeze blow past her ears, causing her busted figure to lean back in shock. "Qin Feng, what are you doing?" Liu Chen was wearing her black glasses, her eyes shooting out chilling intent. She never thought that Qin Feng would be so daring. She didn't know when he had come over, but he was leaning in front of her, blowing onto her ears. "Manager Li, you look way too enchanting when you're diligently working," Qin Feng said as he licked his lips and gazed at Liu Chen's chest. He had been hedonistic and dissolute since he was young, and didn't hide it when he appreciated a woman's body. He had never been one to hide these sorts of things. Liu Chen's chest heaved in anger, and she felt as if her blouse was going to explode. She wanted to harshly rebuke Qin Feng, but she suddenly thought of Deputy Manager Wang Jun's call. Evidently, Qin Feng had connections within the company. However, she simply couldn't understand why he was starting out as a sales representative. Liu Chen suddenly thought of the Qin family's hedonistic young master, Qin Feng. She felt that the Qin Feng in front of her resembled what she had heard about that Qin Feng from the rumors. They were both incredibly loose and dissolute. Impossible. Impossible. Liu Chun shook her head. She had done her research on the Qin family's young master and had looked up photos of him online. It wasn't this person in front of her. When she thought to that young master Qin, Liu Chun felt quite complicated. She was 26, which was a good time to get married. Her father had passed away when she was young, and her mother had been calling her every day asking about her marriage. Because of this, she hadn't dared to go home in a while. Her mother had lived a hard life and didn't want her daughter to live like that. Liu Chen's appearance was quite beautiful, and she had a fiery figure. As such, her mother greatly encouraged her to try to get together with Qin Huang's son, Qin Feng. Liu Chen's mother wasn't joking. She was determined for her daughter to marry into a rich and powerful family. In fact, Liu Chen was working at the royal group because of her mother. This way, she would be able to get closer to Qin Huang, and thus get closer to Qin Feng. Only then would she be able to live out her billionaire dream. However, after entering the royal group, Liu Chen found that Qin Feng was a hedonistic young master and never came to work at the company. All he did was eat, play, drink, and seduce women. She didn't want to be with a hedonistic young master like that, but in order to fulfill her mother's wishes, she still did her best to find an opportunity to enter the Qin family. Chapter 92. Chapter 92. Qin Feng, are you crazy? After joining the company for more than a year, Liu Chen hadn't even had the opportunity to talk to Qin Huang many times, let alone see Qin Feng himself. This was because although Qin Feng had a roaring reputation, there were not many people who had actually met him before. Those who had were all part of the upper-class society. Manager Li, did you tell the higher-ups about my recommendation to make changes to uniforms? Qin Feng's voice suddenly sounded out, bringing Liu Chen back to her senses. Qin Feng was casually sitting on Liu Chen's desk as he looked down her blouse. Liu Chen stood up from her chair in fright. Because she had stood up too suddenly, her thighs hit the table, sending a wave of pain through her legs. Liu Chen hurriedly looked down and found that her black stockings had been partially ripped, and there was blood slowly trickling from a small cut. Liu Chen prided herself on her legs and felt that her legs were even more mesmerizing than her proud chest. She had injured her legs because of Qin Feng, and she wasn't sure if there would be a scar. As such, she was utterly furious with Qin Feng. Qin Feng also looked down at this cut and then hurriedly squatted down as he grabbed a tissue and delicately wiped off the blood. Out of Liu Chen's entire body, Qin Feng was most fascinated with her long legs. They were straight as a pin, and while her thighs were quite full, her calves were without a bit of excess fat. Her skin was glossy and white, looking absolutely flawless. Even the beautiful legs on ads couldn't compare to Liu Chen's. Looking at the cut on Liu Chen's thigh, Qin Feng's heart ached. How could such a beautiful masterpiece be damaged? Qin Feng quickly thought, then casually asked the little pig a question. Little pig, would the elementary gold sore medicine be able to fix up this cut and make sure that it doesn't leave a scar? Master, the elementary gold sore medicine is a miraculous medicine. Even if almost all of your body was burned, the gold sore medicine would be able to prevent a scar being left. Qin Feng never thought that the elementary gold sore medicine would be so amazing. He gritted his teeth and spent 100 hedonist points to buy one. Qin Feng, what are you doing? Get the hell up. Just as he bought the medicine, Liu Chen's cold voice sounded out. Qin Feng raised his head out of instinct and looked up her skirt, seeing a scene that made his blood boil. Liu Chen hurriedly sat back down. When she saw Qin Feng squatting down at her feet, she knew that he was up to no good. She was worried that he had been trying to look up her skirt, and seeing the look in his eyes, she knew that she had guessed correctly. Qin Feng, hurry up and get out. Liu Chen's bone-chilling voice caused Qin Feng to shiver. He hurriedly met her gaze as he smiled. Managerly, don't misunderstand. I was just looking at your wound, and am going to put on some medicine for you. Of course, Liu Chen didn't trust him at all. How could he have any medicine on him? This brat probably wanted to take this opportunity to touch her legs. There was a hint of killing intent within the iciness in her eyes. Qin Feng, I'll say it again. Get out. An icy aura exploded out from Liu Chen's body. Luckily, Qin Feng had seen and been through much and was unfazed. He ignored Liu Qin's words and squatted down as he took out the elementary gold sore medicine and crushed it into powder, preparing to apply it to the cut. When she saw Qin Feng's hand reach over, Liu Qin couldn't suppress her anger anymore, and she raised her foot as she lashed out. Fortunately, Qin Feng's reaction speed was quite fast, and he grabbed Liu Qin's leg. "Manager Li, you're actually being so violent? This is the long-lost lineage-ending kick. Luckily, I had the chest-groping technique. Otherwise, I would have been crippled by you." Liu Qin's cold face became slightly red as she heard these vulgar things come out of Qin Feng's mouth. Qin Feng was holding her injured leg, and she desperately struggled, but Qin Feng's hand was like a vice. No matter what she did, she couldn't break free. "Manager Li, your cut's starting to scab. Don't move. I need to hurry and apply this medicine. Otherwise, it won't have any effect." Qin Feng didn't bother asking for permission as he took off her red high heels with practiced ease and groped up her leg on purpose. He then used his legs to grip Liu Qin's foot so that she couldn't recklessly move. By the time his hand had reached her thighs, he could feel a stimulating sensation. "Manager Li, it's hard for me to apply the medicine with your stockings on, so I'll help you take them off." As he spoke, Qin Feng's evil hands reached under Liu Qin's skirt. Before he could succeed, Liu Qin started struggling again. "Qin Feng, if you dare to take them off, I'll fight you to the bitter death." Liu Qin was completely terrified by this point, and her face became pale. Qin Feng was simply being too bold. He was squatting while holding her leg and trying to take her stockings off. She didn't dare to think what Qin Feng would do after that. Liu Qin was 26 and knew many things. When she was lonely, she would secretly watch some movies by herself. She especially liked scenarios in offices or classrooms. She even fantasized that when she had a boyfriend, she would bring him to her office and act out a scene from one of those movies. Although her fantasies were about to be fulfilled, her partner would be Qin Feng, who she was disgusted with. She simply couldn't accept that. Qin Feng suddenly stopped moving as he felt the air around him chill. If he took off these stockings, it was likely that he really wouldn't be able to leave this office alive. "All right, I won't take them off, but in order to apply the medicine, I'll need to rip your stockings." Without waiting for Liu Qin's response, Qin Feng lifted up her stockings and ripped them apart, revealing Liu Qin's beautiful white legs. "Qin Feng, are you crazy?" Liu Qin was so angry that she wanted to bite him and started to hit him with her elbows. Qin Feng ignored her and continued to rip. "Qin Feng, stop at once, you pervert. If you don't stop, I'm going to call for help." Liu Qin was angered to the point of going crazy, and she desperately started to hit Qin Feng's back with her small fists. However, seeing that there was no reaction, she started to forcefully twist his ears. This was quite painful for Qin Feng, but he felt quite excited. Ripping Liu Qin's stockings while she struggled and twisted her body made it seem as if this was some sort of SM play. Qin Feng almost forgot what he was doing this for. Ripping apart her stockings to apply the medicine, he was like a severe flood and ferocious beast as he ripped apart her stockings, which made them look like a fishnet. However, seeing Liu Qin's legs through the torn stockings seemed incredibly sexy. Since Qin Feng was ripping the stocking, there were many places along Liu Qin's legs that were red. "Qin Feng, you pervert, you beast. Let me go or I'll report you for rape." When he heard Liu Qin was going to accuse him of rape, Qin Feng suddenly stopped as he looked at her in surprise. "Manager Li, I'm putting on medicine for you out of the kindness of my heart, and yet you're accusing me of rape?" Looking at Qin Feng's innocent expression, Liu Qin wanted to kill him with her high heels. She coldly yelled, "Qin Feng, you've already ripped my stockings into fishnets. Is that what you mean by putting on medicine?" Qin Feng looked down, and even he was given a big fright. He had been too excited, and the more Liu Qin had fought back, the more excited he had felt. He had even ripped the stockings on the leg that wasn't injured. "Manager Li, don't be angry. I'll buy you a new pair after work," Qin Feng said earnestly. Liu Qin felt that she was going to be angered to death. She coldly glared at Qin Feng and said, "You think it's as simple as buying me another pair?" Qin Feng thought for a moment before nodding with a serious expression on his face. All right, I'll buy you 10 pairs. Qin Feng, stop dreaming. If you dare to keep acting like this, I'll report you. Li Yuchen was so angry that her entire face became red. When he saw the situation had become serious, Qin Feng didn't dare to continue talking to Li Yuchen. He raised her leg as he started to apply the elementary gold sore medicine on her wound. As he looked at Li Yuchen's legs through the torn stockings, Qin Feng continuously gulped down his saliva. He was afraid that he would hurt Li Yuchen, so he was especially gentle when applying the medicine. A thin layer of sweat had appeared on Li Yuchen's legs because of her struggling from before, which made them look incredibly enchanting. Qin Feng almost wanted to give them a kiss. Moreover, her skin looked extremely tender and supple, as well as soft and warm. Although he had finished applying the medicine, he pretended that he was still going and had no thoughts about stopping. After a while, Li Yuchen calmed down. Qin Feng, are you done yet? She could feel that after the medicine was applied, the pain gradually faded, and now believed that Qin Feng was actually applying medicine for her. However, she never thought that the medicine would be so effective. However, when she thought about how Qin Feng had ripped apart her stockings, she decided that he was definitely crazy. Chapter 93. Chapter 93. Hope you don't mind. Ding! The Hedonist sovereign system has issued a quest. Kiss Li Yuchen's thigh for 10 seconds. Quest time limit, 10 minutes. Successful completion reward, 200 Hedonist points. In the event of a failure, the host will be fired from Royal Group. Ding! The Hedonist sovereign system has issued a quest. Help Li Yuchen eliminate the headache of Mother Li's marriage entreaties. Quest time limit, 1 month. Successful completion reward, 2,000 Hedonist points. In the event of a failure, the host will be subject to eternal bachelorhood. Since Li Yuchen already asked, Qin Feng couldn't continue acting. He was just about to say that the medicine was applied properly when Little Pig's voice suddenly boomed in Qin Feng's head. He didn't know if he should thank or curse at Little Pig. It was obvious that this quest was something that Qin Feng really wanted to do, but he was well aware that upon its completion, he would be annihilated by Li Yuchen's legs and die without descendants. All in all, the quest time was too long, 10 seconds. If it was just a kiss similar to a dragonfly touching water, things would be much simpler. And just thinking of the second quest's punishment of being subject to eternal bachelorhood made Qin Feng completely listless. Qin Feng, are you done yet? Li Yuchen asked through clenched teeth. She couldn't help but notice that Qin Feng was clearly spacing out, but his hand was still rubbing her leg. Huh. I'm almost done. Oh, right. I almost forgot. This specific medicine passed down by my ancestors needs to be dissolved in water to be fully effective. Otherwise, your wound might leave a scar on your thigh. This won't do. I need to quickly mix the medicinal powder with water. If I'm too late, then we'd have trouble. In a fluster, Qin Feng spouted a bunch of lies and then suddenly leaned down, inhaled the lovely scent of Li Yuchen's beautiful thighs, and kissed them in one fell swoop. His mouth fell on Li Yuchen's wound, and he slowly extended his tongue before swimming it around the wound. Li Yuchen's thigh had some beads of sweat. When they touched the tip of his tongue, there was a faint sweetness. It was like Nongfu spring water, a little sweet. Li Yuchen froze. Her pretty eyes widened as she stared at Qin Feng unscrupulously licking her thigh. She even forgot to breathe. She thought Qin Feng had a very agile tongue. It was soft and moist. As it swam about on her thigh, her whole body softened, and she felt a strange, numbing effect. A fire gradually arose in her heart, and Li Yuchen felt like her body would soon combust. Her pretty face was impossibly red. Ding! Congratulations! Host Qin Feng completed the quest of kissing Li Yuchen's thigh for 10 seconds and is awarded 200 hedonist points by the system. Even after the system's notification, Qin Feng still didn't stop. Li Yuchen's thigh was too fragrant and intoxicating. When paired with the tattered black stockings, the experience of licking it was even more enchanting. Qin Feng couldn't be more impressed with himself. He came up with the brilliant idea that the medicine needed to be combined with water, and most importantly, Qin Feng's water was his saliva. At Liu Chen's age, especially since she hadn't experienced male-female romantic love, when she was lonely at night, she would also have some yearnings. It was the first time she'd been tormented this way by a man, and she immediately sank into indulgence. She couldn't help but moan. This sound jolted her to her senses. When she saw the outrageous scene before her, she hurriedly jerked her thigh away from Qin Feng. She was so embarrassed that she wished she could bury herself. General Manager Li, now your wound doesn't hurt anymore, right? Since I couldn't find water immediately, I decided to try using saliva to dissolve the medicine. I hope you don't mind. Once Qin Feng noticed that Liu Qian had regained her senses, he immediately put on an expression of propriety. Liu Qian was originally going to yell at Qin Feng, but seeing how serious and proper he looked, she didn't know to begin. If she yelled at Qin Feng, it would only expose her own improper way of thinking. Qin Feng, you get out. Liu Qian lowered her head and didn't dare expose the look of desire on her face. General Manager Li, you're so beautiful and your body is so perfect. How could you be forced into marriage? Qin Feng was now concerned about the second quest. Liu Qian's pretty eyes suddenly narrowed as she stared at Qin Feng in amazement. She couldn't figure out how Qin Feng would know that her family was forcing her to get married. All of her female friends her age were already married with kids, and a lot of their kids already had minds of their own. On the other hand, she was still single. She couldn't help but feel awkward about her relationship status. Plus, Liu Qian was a beauty. She was a capable woman. Where could someone find this kind of woman? She should have found a marriage partner long ago, but she was still single. This stirred a lot of messy rumors and trash-talking behind her back, suggesting that she was impure or sterile. Only she was aware of the actual situation. It was all her mom's fault for wanting to marry her into a rich family. Due to this, she set her sights on the young master of the Qin family. Now, even to this day, she never even dated. That's none of your business. Get the hell out of here. This topic was Liu Qian's sore spot. The air around her froze. She grabbed a nearby magazine and hurled it. Luckily, Qin Feng moved quickly and the magazine slammed into the door. It seems that this quest isn't that easy either. After exiting the office, Qin Feng felt that it was a pity. Then, he smilingly sniffed his hand. The smell of Liu Qian's fragrant thigh lingered on it. Qin Feng's heart rippled a bit, and he strutted towards his seat. He was suddenly addicted to ripped stockings and wanted to go back and tear up Suruo's beige stockings. Qin Feng, come here. Your brothers would like to speak with you. He only walked halfway to his destination before he was stopped. He turned and saw people he didn't recognize, so he just ignored them and continued on his way. Xiao Ma's face darkened. Since this assignment was organized by Group Leader Wang, he and Xiao Qiu kept their eyes peeled on General Manager Li's office. Once they saw Qin Feng walk out, they called on him. In the end, Qin Feng arrogantly ignored them and just walked away. Xiao Ma and Xiao Qiu exchanged glances. Both sets of eyes glinted with hostility as they chased after Qin Feng. Hey, stinking brat, I see that you're pretending not to hear us even when we call on you. You're quite an arrogant one. Hey, my shirt is really expensive. Don't touch it with your grubby paws. All right? Qin Feng slapped Xiao Ma's hand from his shoulder and looked calmly at the two people before him. Tell me, what do you want? Stinking brat, I'll advise you to follow us outside for a talk, or you'd look bad getting beat up in this lobby. Though Xiao Ma had group leader Wang backing him, beating up Qin Feng in the lobby of the sales department would reflect poorly on him. Qin Feng thought for a bit and felt that these two were quite considerate of him. It was only his 5th day in the sales department, so it was better to lie low. If he wanted to hit someone, he'd better do it outside. Then lead the way. Qin Feng looked at the two while smiling. Chapter 94. Chapter 94. Brothers, did you bring a lighter? Seeing that Qin Feng had agreed to go outside, Xiao Ma and Xiao Qiu smiled at each other. Their eyes glinted with glee, and they strutted with their chests puffed up as they led Qin Feng out of the sales department's lobby. The two arrived at the landing of the stairs. This was where they usually smoked and got fresh air during their breaks from work. Hardly anyone went there. There was no better place to take care of Qin Feng. Stinking brat, as a newbie in the company. Your elder finds you very arrogant. Once they got to the landing of the stairs, Xiao Ma's expression changed. He no longer had to keep up the facade and revealed a violent expression. He viciously eyed Qin Feng. I'm arrogant? How come I didn't realize that about myself? Qin Feng knew right from the start that these two were up to no good. But he felt a bit uncertain because he didn't know these people and had no qualms with them. There was an 80% chance that they were sent by someone to clean him up. Qin Feng thought to himself about this. In the whole royal group, he had only hit Wang Chao in the face, so it all made sense. Haha, you're clearly a newbie whose hair hasn't even grown. You don't even know who you've offended. You truly deserve a beating. Xiao Ma suddenly cackled. He clearly didn't see Qin Feng as any sort of threat. With the two of them teamed up, Xiao Ma and Xiao Qiu were sure they could take care of Qin Feng however they wanted. Oh, I've only been in the company for 5 days and I took 3 days off. I didn't know I could offend someone just like that. Brother, give it to me straight and tell me who sent you guys to deal with me, so I can have some sort of grip on the situation. Since we're going to send you to the hospital anyway, we'll freely tell you that you freaking didn't grow any eyes and offended group leader Wang Chao. He personally ordered us to teach you a lesson. Xiao Ma said with glee. Qin Feng guessed correctly and gained the knowledge he wanted. So these two were no longer useful. Qin Feng squinted and suddenly laughed. How do you plan on doing that? Xiao Ma hadn't felt the approaching danger and still thought Qin Feng was getting ready to beg to be spared. So he was impossibly pleased with himself. Stinking brat, you've offended group leader Wang. If we don't beat you up, then we'd have no way of reporting back to our leader. But you seem pretty decent. How about this? Take out all the money on you, and I'll just break your arms but leave your legs alone so you can piss and shit. Brat, aren't your brothers thoughtful? They wanted to break his arms and take his money. That was considered thoughtful? Qin Feng chuckled. Your suggestion isn't bad. I'll break your arms and take your money. Fuck, what the hell did you say? You want to mess with this elder? I gave you a chance and you're not taking it. This elder will kill you. Xiao Ma suddenly exploded in fury and he rushed in with iron fists. He used to be on the school basketball team, and he was tall and had a domineering aura. If the typical person were to stand before him, they would be shaken by this aura. But Xiao Ma currently faced Qin Feng. All Xiao Ma saw was that right from the beginning, Qin Feng merely stood in the same spot, completely motionless. Suddenly, like a flash of lightning, Qin Feng kicked Xiao Ma in the stomach. Xiao Ma cried pitifully as his large and sturdy body flew down the stairs. He cried the whole way down and couldn't prevent himself from doing so. When Xiao Qiu saw this, he was stunned. If they had to compare, 2 Xiao Qius were no Ma against 1 Xiao Ma. Now, Big Brother Ma was completely defeated by Qin Feng. Most importantly, Xiao Qiu wasn't even able to clearly see Qin Feng's movement. Xiao Qiu knew that he'd met an expert today, and there was no way he'd still consider bullying Qin Feng. If Qin Feng didn't bully him instead, he would burn incense to praise the heavens. Where did my lighter go? Bro, do you have a lighter? Lend it to me. In this sudden change of events, Xiao Qiu took out a cigarette and placed it in Qin Feng's mouth. He then lent Qin Feng his lighter with complete seriousness. Sheesh, you came out as smoke without bringing a lighter? Bro, you seem like a new face. Did you just start at the company? Qin Feng was completely taken by surprise. He almost thought he had traveled to another dimension. Qin Feng weighed Xiao Qiu's convincing acting skills and mused. An Oscar winner for the best actor has come to the mortal world. He clamped his hand onto Xiao Qiu's shoulder. The enormous strength of his hand almost dislocated Xiao Qiu's shoulder. When Xiao Qiu realized that his act didn't work, he immediately groveled for mercy. Big brother, please spare me. It was all that asshole Wang Chao. He forced us to deal with you. But we have no enmity between us. Great people like you have a large capacity for forgiveness. Please have mercy on me. Ever since Qin Feng began working at Royal Group, his father froze his bank account. Recently, he was a bit tight on money, so he grinned at Xiao Qiu. I almost forgot. I didn't collect the money from the brat that got kicked down the stairs. Bring me the money on him, and give me your money as well. I'll only wait 10 seconds. Right when Qin Feng finished talking, Xiao Qiu ran like the wind down the stairs. Good thing Xiao Ma only flipped down one set of stairs. Xiao Qiu speedily took out Xiao Ma's wallet from his pocket and ran up the stairs while pulling out his own wallet. Big brother. Here, for you. Not bad. It took you exactly 10 seconds. You have the potential of becoming a track and field athlete. Qin Feng took the 2 wallets and pulled out a total of 30 red bills. Then, he threw the wallets on the ground. He raised his eyebrows. You only have this little money and you called out this young master to rob you? Don't you know I'm busy? Qin Feng was really mad. The results would be severe. With a flying kick, Xiao Qiu dropped down the stairs with a bitter cry. He rolled beside Xiao Ma and also fell unconscious. After taking care of the 2, Qin Feng pocketed the money, clapped his hands, and returned to the sales department in satisfaction. Wang Chao had just seen Xiao Ma and Xiao Qiu bring Qin Feng outside and awaited their good news. After waiting a bit, he didn't see the 2 return, but saw Qin Feng swagger back instead. Hey Wang Chao, are you guarding the door? Not bad, not bad. Your enthusiasm will definitely be acknowledged by our company's leadership. Wang Chao's face immediately darkened. He originally thought Qin Feng would be sent to the hospital, but who would have known he'd still be so cocky? Qin Feng, did you see Xiao Ma and Xiao Qiu? I have something to tell them. Wang Chao forcefully suppressed his rage and asked tentatively. Xiao Ma, Xiao Qiu? I don't know them. Why are you looking for them? Qin Feng's eyes glinted with glee. He made Wang Chao pretend and thought that the whole situation was really fun. If you didn't see them, then never mind. It's nothing much, so go do what you need to do. All right, sounds good. You just continue standing here as a guard dog then, Qin Feng said as he laughingly returned to his seat. Wang Chao stood at the door and didn't know if he should stay or leave. Neither seemed fitting. He was so frustrated that he almost gritted his teeth into oblivion. He couldn't understand the situation. It wasn't the first time he had Xiao Ma and Xiao Qiu teach someone a lesson, and they always successfully completed their missions. Why did it seem as though something went wrong today? After waiting at the door for around 10 more minutes, the 2 still didn't come back. Wang Chao's patience was spent, so he returned to his office with a stormy expression and internally cursed at Qin Feng several times. For the rest of the day, no one else bothered Qin Feng. Xiao Ma and Xiao Qiu went straight to the hospital after they came to, and would have to stay there for a couple days. Qin Feng spent his day at work molesting Su Ruoro. During this day of work, Su Ruoro considered quitting her job hundreds of times. Qin Feng was too despicable. She felt like a lamb in a tiger's den. Ruoro, it's time to get off from work. Let's go. I'll take you home on my bike. Once work was over, Qin Feng pinched Su Ruoro's face. Su Ruoro had no more energy to resist Qin Feng's habits of taking liberties with her. She replied shyly, I don't need you to take me home. I have something to do later. Why, you can leave first. Su Ruoro really had something to do tonight. Her rent was originally due every 3 months, but last night her landlord told her that she would be paying every 6 months instead. Now she had to fork out the remaining 3 months of rent, or else she would be evicted. She had just graduated and was a weak girl who had just begun working. She had nothing to rely on, so she had no extra money. She was forced to her wits' end when she remembered that the Qin family was hiring a part-time housekeeper. After work today, she decided to go to the Qin's house for an interview. What do you have to do? I'll go with you. Qin Feng smiled. It's okay. I'm going to look for a part-time job. Bringing you along will be inconvenient. You're a little rich, madam, with 300,000 yuan. What are you doing looking for a part-time job? That isn't my money. I won't spend it. I'll store that money for you. When you need it, I'll give it back, Su Ruoro promised. Qin Feng felt a bit downcast. Su Ruoro said nothing when he took advantage of her, but it seems that she still kept him at a distance. She still had a line that nothing would get her to cross. Though she had a weak personality, she still had her own principles. Maybe under Qin Feng's might, she couldn't say anything even when taken advantage of. But she drew the line when it came to money. In Su Ruoro's eyes, Only a married couple could share money unreservedly. She clearly didn't have those kinds of romantic feelings toward Qin Feng. Okay, then I'll leave first, Qin Feng said with disappointment. Su Ruoro gritted her teeth when she saw Qin Feng's downcast expression. She felt bad. She knew Qin Feng was just like other men and desired her beauty, but Qin Feng was fundamentally different from other men because he didn't force her and didn't do anything too ridiculous. Su Ruoro hesitated as she thought about the times Qin Feng helped her. She suddenly ran over and held Qin Feng's hand. Qin Feng, I really have to go to an interview for a part-time job tonight. Sorry for the inconvenience, but if you don't mind. See, can you take me there on your bike? Chapter 95. Chapter 95. I'm not the kind of woman you're thinking of. Qin Feng knew Su Ruoro was a kind person. She offered to let him give her a ride because she was worried that she would hurt his feelings. He patted her soft black hair and smiled. Where are you going for your interview? The Qin Manor. Su Ruoro murmured with her head bowed. Young Master Qin of the Qin Manor had a notorious reputation. Su Ruoro was worried that if Qin Feng knew she was going to the Qin residence to be a housekeeper, he would think she was a loose woman. Qin Feng staggered and almost fell to the ground. He stared at Su Ruoro in astonishment. What did you say? You're going to the Qin Manor for an interview? An interview for what? Qin Feng was even more shocked because the Qin family was currently at war with the Hao family. There was no way the Qin family could freely hire outsiders. The only position he could recall that they were hiring for was the housekeeper position from the notice he put up a couple of days ago. As expected, when Qin Feng heard that she was going to the Qin Manor, he reacted very strongly. Su Ruoro nervously pinched the corner of her shirt and responded with a sound as small as the buzz of a fly. Housekeeper? Fuck. You want to apply to be a housekeeper in the Qin Manor? Qin Feng's usually calm heart beat up a storm as he excitedly grabbed Su Ruoro by the shoulders. Su Ruoro was so worried that her whole body trembled. She hurriedly explained, Qin Feng, don't take it the wrong way. I am only going for the interview because I have no other choice. I know the young master of the Qin family has a bad reputation. I am only going to look. If the working conditions are bad, then I won't take the job. Qin Feng, I am not the kind of woman you're thinking of. Once Qin Feng saw that Su Ruoro was about to cry, he hugged her. What are you thinking? I was just going to say that you have good taste for wanting to be a housekeeper in the Qin Manor. Qin Feng realized that the woman he messaged about her 3 measurements was Su Ruoro. Now that he was hugging her, he could clearly feel her 3 measurements. They were exactly as stated. Huh, Qin Feng, why you'd approve of me becoming a housekeeper for the Qin family? Su Ruoro was shocked. She stared dumbly at Qin Feng and forgot that she was still in his embrace. Of course I'd approve. Young Master Qin is such a great person. It would be an honor to be his housekeeper, Qin Feng replied shamelessly. Qin Feng, can you please let go of me? Su Ruoro lightly pushed Qin Feng away. She then asked, You seem quite familiar with young Master Qin. Do you know him? Qin Feng didn't know how to respond. Not only does he know young Master Qin, he freaking is young Master Qin. But, now that he's working at Royal Group, his dad warned him not to expose his identity, so he didn't tell Su Ruoro. He just skirted around the question and brought her out of the building. Ruoro, let's go straight to your house and move your stuff to the Qin Manor. You can just live there in the future. Huh, that's not a good idea. I don't even know if young Master Qin will hire me as his housekeeper. Su Ruoro replied shyly. Don't worry. I forgot to tell you that I'm a member of the Qin Manor. I'm young Master Qin's personal attendant. If I tell him that I recommended you, he'll definitely agree to hire you. Qin Feng already thought of a good countermeasure for the situation. Once they got to the Qin Manor, he'd call on Xiao Bai to be Qin Feng. The pictures on the internet under Qin Feng were all of Xiao Bai anyway. Xiao Bai was originally a bodyguard of the Qin Manor, but ever since Qin Huang got mixed up in the commercial industry, he gained a lot of enemies. To protect Qin Feng, Xiao Bai's pictures were placed on the internet as Qin Feng. This was all in an effort to prevent enemies from kidnapping and harming Qin Feng. All the commoners of Acropolis thought Xiao Bai was Qin Feng. This was also why Li Yuchen couldn't recognize Qin Feng. The pictures she saw of Qin Feng on the internet were actually Xiao Bai. Huh, you also work in the Qin Manor? And you're also young Master Qin's personal attendant? The thought never crossed Su Ruorou's mind. Qin Feng nodded with a serious expression. Then, he whispered secretively into Su Ruorou's ear with an air of dignity. Ruorou, let's keep this between the two of us. Don't let anyone else know. My identity as Qin Feng's personal attendant is a secret. If it's revealed, young Master Qin will be in danger, and the Qin family will never forgive me. Su Ruorou was so kind that she immediately believed Qin Feng. She was even touched that Qin Feng told her such a secret and nodded vigorously. Qin Feng, don't worry. I'll never expose this secret. I swear. Su Ruorou solemnly raised one small hand to swear. Qin Feng thought she looked really cute and carried her onto his 28 bicycle. No need to swear, I believe you. So, we'll go to your house now and move all of your stuff into the Qin Manor. You'll live in the manor from now on. You can even save money on rent. Qin Feng internally smirked. He didn't think he could trick Su Ruorou into his house so easily. When thinking of how this weak little lamb was stepping into the evil wolf's den, Qin Feng was extremely excited. Okay, I'll do as you say. Su Ruorou thought of how she could both save rent money and make some additional funds with this part-time job, so she clenched her teeth and unknowingly sold herself. Qin Feng rode extremely quickly to Su Ruorou's house in a poor district in the north of the city. The houses in this area were bungalows in the alleyway compounds. Because the buildings were old, a lot of paint in the walls were peeling and revealed the red brick beneath. A lot of them had a big demolish scrawled on them. The area wasn't very good because most of the people that lived there were wage earners from distant places. They were people of various types. When Qin Feng rode his bike over to the area, he saw a lot of strange youths smoking and causing a ruckus. It was dangerous for a weak girl like Su Ruorou to live here, but the rent was cheap. Qin Feng, it's the one up ahead with the big red door. Qin Feng didn't know how many twists and turns they made through the alleyways under Su Ruorou's directions, but they were finally there. He was amazed by Su Ruorou's memory. If he lived here, he would never find his house every day. Qin Feng, why you want to go in together? Or? Su Ruorou stepped off the bike and looked shyly at Qin Feng. Of course I'm going in. How else will I help you move your stuff? Qin Feng brazenly found an excuse to follow Su Ruorou into the compound. The compound was pretty big. There were 5 rooms in total. Su Ruorou lived in a little one in the corner. It was not even 30 square meters, and one could see the whole place in one gaze. Though the house was shabby, it was clean and neat. There was even a nice, faint fragrance to it that smelled like Su Ruorou. She slept on a twin bed that had 2 SpongeBob dolls on it. Even the bed sheets had SpongeBob on them. It seems that she was still a little girl inside. Qin Feng, sit wherever you'd like. I'll go pack my stuff. It was the first time Su Ruorou brought a man into her bedroom, and she was nervous. On the other hand, Qin Feng made himself at home as he casually helped her pack the heavier items in her house. Ruorou, you can just pack your clothes and daily necessities. I'll help you with the electronics and such. Since she was more familiar with Qin Feng, Su Ruorou wasn't overly polite. She thanked Qin Feng, and both of them went to work. One by one, Qin Feng moved the stuff out of the house. Seeing that there was so much stuff, he thought they'd need a car to transport everything. So Qin Feng pulled out his phone and called Uncle Fu. While he was calling Uncle Fu, a man suddenly walked into Su Ruorou's room. He was a man in his 30s named Li Dong. He was the landlord of the quadrangle. This compound actually wasn't Li Dong's. It was left to him by his parents. After they died, Li Dong didn't get a real job and lived off the rent of the quadrangle. From day to night, he lived a decadent and dissolute life, drinking with the hooligans nearby. He was the scum of society. Once he got into the room, his shifty eyes fell on Su Ruorou's well-endowed buttocks. His eyes glinted with glee as he tiptoed towards her. He swallowed several mouthfuls of saliva and wanted to hug this exquisite item from behind. Qin Feng, you're back. Landlord. Su Ruorou heard the noise behind her and thought Qin Feng returned, but when she turned around, she was faced with the landlord's dreadful smile. His eyes were glued to her body, and she quickly backed away in fright, pushing herself tightly against the wall. Ruoro, what are you doing? You want to move out? Right after walking in, Li Dong closed and locked the door. In his eyes, Su Ruoro was a tasty feast ready to be enjoyed. Why, you said I had to provide the rest of the rent for the next half year. I don't have that much money, so I was getting ready to move out. When Su Ruoro saw that the door was closed, her heart was thrown into a frenzy. She ran towards the door and wanted to rush to Qin Feng's side. She wasn't sure why the first thing she thought of was Qin Feng when she was in danger, but she felt that if she was by his side, she'd be safe. Haha, little sister Ruoro, where do you think you're running to? Li Dong was very attentive and beat Su Ruoro to the door. He guarded it closely. Little sister Ruoro, we can talk about the rent. I'll be so sad if you suddenly just leave without saying anything. We've lived together in this compound for so long. There must be some feelings of attachment. Li Dong's eyes beamed with greed as his gaze swept unscrupulously over Su Ruoro's body. Su Ruoro felt a gust of evil and said fearfully, Landlord, I can't live here anymore. I don't even want the last 2 months of rent I've already given, or the 1,000 yuan security deposit. Please let me go outside. Okay? Chapter 96. Chapter 96. I'll teach you how to yell at people. Ha ha ha, little sister Ruoro, you want to go outside? Sure, let older brother Dong taste you first. After I've tasted enough, then I'll naturally let you go. Li Dong didn't need to act anymore, and his face was filled with greed. Su Ruoro anxiously pinched the edge of her shirt and said meekly, Don't say those kinds of things. I think you're gross. Su Ruoro's weak personality would make any man crazy and want to ravage her. Li Dong became even more excited, and his eyes shone with glee. His eyes were glued to Su Ruoro, and he stepped towards her. Ruoro, it's okay if you don't like it. That's because you haven't experienced how great this older brother is. Once older brother gets you on the bed and you experience older brother's greatness, you will fall deeply in love. Don't come over. The more Su Ruoro resisted, the more zealously Dong became. Little sister Ruoro, from now on, you don't have to pay rent. Just sleep in older brother's room every night. It's both comfortable and stimulating. What do you say? Li Dong could no longer resist. He already pounced at Su Ruoro, and she was so frightened that she sat on the ground. She buried her head in her knees and began to sob. Qin Feng finished his call and stood at the door. He heard the whole conversation but didn't walk in because he wanted to force Su Ruoro to learn how to resist on her own. Seeing the current situation, Qin Feng helplessly shook his head as gave a vicious kick. The locked door fell to pieces with a bang. The sound gave Li Dong and Su Ruoro a fright. When Su Ruoro saw that the person who entered the room was Qin Feng, her eyes brightened. She ran towards him like a lost little girl who had just found her father. She leaned into Qin Feng's embrace and cried. Qin Feng was enraged. He pulled Su Ruoro outside. Cry, cry, cry. All you know how to do is cry. Don't tell me you want to be done by this pig. Su Ruoro shook with fear. Qin Feng was like an enraged beast. She lowered her head and didn't dare look into his raging eyes. She shook her head like her life depended on it. I don't want to. She had that weak look again. She clearly didn't want it, but she didn't know how to resist. Qin Feng was extremely frustrated. He growled, If you don't want to, then freaking resist. You must be angry at this brute, right? Then hit him. Hit him hard. Do it like me, just smack him. While growling, Qin Feng went up to Li Dong and slapped him in the face. Li Dong didn't even have time to react. His 2 front teeth flew out, and his entire face swelled up. A spray of blood shot out of his mouth. With the appearance of blood, Su Ruoro fearfully covered her eyes with her hands. Qin Feng roared at her. Don't cover your eyes, take your hands away from your face. I was just warming up. After finishing what he had to say, Qin Feng kicked Li Dong's stomach. He was enraged right from the get-go, so he didn't hold back. His kick sent Li Dong flying into the mud wall with a harsh slam. Fuck! You want to take advantage of Ruoro, this cute and pure girl? Are you even freaking human? He stepped on Li Dong's leg. Luckily, I got here on time. If Ruoro was harmed in any way, I would have your limbs torn apart by 5 horses. He stepped on Li Dong's stomach. Dong dong dong. Qin Feng wildly stepped on Li Dong like the beast of a flood. Not long later, Li Dong was lying in a pool of blood. Did you see that? You have to ruthlessly beat this kind of person, so they'll be afraid of you in the future. After beating Li Dong, Qin Feng quelled his anger and got his emotions in check. He walked to Su Ruoro and took her hand to leave, but Su Ruoro acted like she was electrocuted and flung his hand away. She backed away from him. What are you doing? Are you throwing a tantrum? Qin Feng knew he scared Su Ruoro, but if he didn't scare her like this a couple of times, then she'll never change her weak personality. Wang Chao and Li Dong were both chased away by him, but if sometime in the future he wasn't able to help her in time, then what would this weak girl do? Does she really have to be violated by these people? Just thinking about this made Qin Feng murderous. And no. Su Ruoro was quiet for a while, then mustered up the courage to say, Qin Feng, why you go? I am not going to the Qin Manor with you. Seeing how nervous Su Ruoro was, Qin Feng's heart softened. He hugged Su Ruoro gently and lovingly patted her silky black hair. Su Ruoro couldn't hold her tears any longer, and she burst into tears. She chokingly sobbed, Qin Feng, in the future, don't yell at me like that. I am really scared. I currently think of you as a friend. When I'm with you, I feel a sense of security. But if you're that violent, I think I'll even be afraid of you. Seeing how helpless Su Ruoro looked, Qin Feng's heart ached. He comforted her for a long while, and she slowly warmed up to him again. At this moment, she gripped tightly onto Qin Feng's arm. Qin Feng brought her in front of Li Dong. Once she saw Li Dong's body beaten out of recognition in a puddle of blood, Su Ruoro hid behind Qin Feng in fright. Qin Feng gently pulled her out from behind him. Ruoro, do you hate this stinking man? Once he saw Li Dong, Qin Feng's expression turned cold again. Su Ruoro nodded. Curse at him, Qin Feng said. Then, he remembered that Su Ruoro didn't know how to curse at people. Qin Feng was determined to teach her. Ruoro, repeat after me. Whatever I say, you say as well. Su Ruoro hesitated before nodding. Fuck you, you dog. Hit me if you dare. I'll kill you. Once Qin Feng opened his mouth, Su Ruoro was dumbfounded. Her sexy peach lips opened and closed, but she couldn't repeat even one word. Qin Feng screwed his head and changed up the phrase. Damn it, are your dog eyes blind? How dare you go after my beauty? I'll smack you to death. Su Ruoro almost went crazy. She wanted to cover her ears and prevent herself from hearing Qin Feng's words. They were too vulgar. Qin Feng thought that this wouldn't do, so he held onto Su Ruoro's shoulders and stared earnestly into her eyes. Ruoro, how about this? I say one word, you say one word? Repeat after me. After hesitating for a long while, Su Ruoro lightly nodded. Fuck. Su Ruoro stared stupidly at Qin Feng without saying a word. Ciao. Qin Feng used pinyin. Morning. Su Ruoro followed earnestly. No, it's ciao. Picture. Su Ruoro still couldn't say the word. Qin Feng saw black. He was so angry he could die. Chapter 97. Chapter 97. The young Master Qin in my eyes. Qin Feng, don't force me. I can't learn it. Su Ruoro's face was completely red, and she wanted to bury herself. Forget it. I knew right from the beginning that a quest worth 3,000 hedonist points would be extremely difficult. Qin Feng shook his head and resolutely gave up. He went up to Li Dong's body and ruthlessly kicked him once more. Stop pretending you're dead. Get up. If you want to lie on the ground for the rest of your life, I can grant your wish. Li Dong was playing dead the whole time and heard Qin Feng teaching Su Ruoro to curse. He wanted to tell Qin Feng he was insane, but Qin Feng was too strong. Li Dong knew he couldn't beat Qin Feng in a fight, so he hurriedly pulled himself to his feet. Be big brother, spare me. I didn't know she was your woman. If I knew earlier, even if you gave me 10 guts, I still wouldn't have enough to make a move on Miss Sue. Once he got up, he kneeled in front of Qin Feng and begged for mercy. Qin Feng's beating frightened him. Qin Feng left no room for any counterattacks and beat Li Dong to a pulp. Cut the crap and give Ruo her rent and security deposit back. And give her 3,000 yuan in compensation for the mental damage you've done. If not, I'll break your dog legs. Qin Feng glared viciously at Li Dong. Qin Feng was so imposing that Li Dong didn't dare oppose him. Li Dong immediately ran to get the money. Not long later, he brought a small red cloth pouch. Elder brother, here's 6,000 yuan. The extra is a token of my apologies to Miss Su Ruoro. Elder brother, forgive me. Qin Feng didn't get a chance to say anything when Su Ruoro lightly tugged the corner of his shirt. She said softly, Qin Feng, let's go. I don't want to be here anymore. They got their money and Li Dong was beaten a good amount. So Qin Feng took the luggage Su Ruoro packed and brought her out of the compound. Once they exited, they saw the car from the moving company Uncle Fu called over. Young Master Qin. Once Uncle Fu saw Qin Feng holding 2 pieces of luggage with a high-end little beauty standing beside him, Uncle Fu knew Qin Feng was courting girls again. Qin Feng threw the luggage to the side and ran over to Uncle Fu. He whispered into Uncle Fu's ear, Uncle Fu, from now on, I'm young Master Qin's personal attendant. Don't slip up. Uncle Fu was completely unsurprised. He didn't have to ask any further questions and nodded slightly. Clearly, Uncle Fu was used to Qin Feng changing his identity to pick up girls. Young Master Qin's personal attendant and this beautiful miss, please get into the car. Young Master Qin is already waiting for you at the villa of the Qin Manor. Uncle Fu quickly fell into his role and invited the two into the car. Fuck. Big Brother Chong. Hurry and look. That chick is too hot. Qin Feng and Su Ruoro had just gotten onto the car when a crowd of good-for-nothings got excited. It was the first time they'd seen a pure beauty like Su Ruoro, and they helplessly weighed her get into a car and drive away. The man sitting in the middle of the group of squatting good-for-nothings had an earring and dyed yellow hair. He was the boss of the group. He threw his cigarette to the ground and replayed the previous scene in his mind. He stood. What a pity. We saw the little lady move out of this place in someone else's big Mercedes-Benz. I'm afraid she's gotten a sugar daddy. If we squatted in this area a couple of days ago, then we would have been able to taste her. Big Brother Chong. I remember the Benz's license plate. If we call around, we'll know who took her in. Then, we'll squat at their doorstep and grab her so we can all spend some time with her. All the good-for-nothings beside Wang Chong snickered with glee and their eyes gleamed. Wang Chong slapped their heads and lectured. Fuck. I brought you all here to do proper things. We still have 3 of our 10 assignments to complete this month. You guys keep an eye out. If there's a chance to make a move, then don't hesitate. If the month ends and the assignments are unfinished, we'll all be killed by the Li family. Once they brought up the assignments, all of them became serious and nodded their heads. Big Brother Chong, don't worry. We came to Acropolis from Yunhai City, and we even chose a poor district like this. If we CA the person here, no one would care. Tonight, we'll bring back 3 people. It was the first time Su Ruoro sat in such a fancy sedan. After getting into the car, she gripped onto Qin Feng's arm. Her pretty eyes curiously examined the inside of the car. Ruoro, don't be afraid. You're a member of the Qin Manor now. Your social standing has risen. Qin Feng patted Su Ruoro's lovely white thigh. It looked like he was comforting her, but he was actually feeling the smoothness of her leg. Yes, thank you, Qin Feng. I am still a little scared. From today onwards, Su Ruoro couldn't return to the place she rented, so she really had nowhere to go. Her life was in Qin Feng's hands. She unknowingly scooted closer to Qin Feng and her grip tightened around his arm. Haha, there's nothing to be afraid of. Young Master Qin is a great person. Qin Feng wrapped his arm around Su Ruoro's fragrant shoulder, and the hand on her thigh slid a bit upwards. But I heard rumors that young Master Qin was base and perverted. He relies on his rich father and spends his days idly. He doesn't have a real job and I is the epitome of human trash. Su Ruoro repeated the gossip she heard. After she finished saying all this, she was even more afraid. She suddenly felt as though she was walking into a wolf's den. She scooted closer to Qin Feng. Qin Feng jumped as if he was electrocuted. He protested with dissatisfaction. Who said that? They're all baselessly making crap up. Once I CA them, I'll kill them. When Su Ruoro saw how agitated Qin Feng suddenly became, she looked at him in astonishment. Why are you so agitated? I'm not even talking about you. Was what I said wrong? Ahem. I'm young Master Qin's personal attendant, and I'm defending him from these unjust rumors. Qin Feng realized that he almost exposed his identity and hurriedly explained himself. Then what kind of person is young Master Qin actually? Su Ruoro looked at Qin Feng in anticipation. As young Master Qin's housekeeper, he was going to be in charge of her life in the days ahead. Su Ruoro had to get all this information in order first. Qin Feng cleared his throat and suddenly sat up straight. He looked at Su Ruoro with a serious expression. Ruoro, as young Master Qin's personal attendant, I grew up with him. I'm the one most qualified to speak in regards to young Master Qin's personality and character. The young Master Qin in my eyes is as follows. When he was small, he was an excellent student, had excellent character, and loved to help people. In his teens, he was a multi-talented and well-read scholar who thrived on the Confucian classics. And the current young Master Qin is kind and understanding, respects his elders, doesn't depend on his family's power and influence, and lives an independent youth in the outside world where he has to fend for himself. This is the young Master Qin in my eyes. Qin Feng's speech brimmed with passion and sincerity. Su Ruoro was moved and began to rethink the misconceptions she had of young Master Qin. Uncle Fu, who was driving the car, pressed his lips together. His hands shook, and he almost flipped the car over. Uncle Fu was a man with a history. He experienced a lot, but Qin Feng's shameless words tore apart his unchanging calmness. He glanced at the enamored Su Ruoro through his rearview mirror and couldn't help but sigh internally. Yet another innocent beauty falls into the abyss. Qin Feng, is that true? So young Master Qin is that kind of person? Su Ruoro was a little moved. She suddenly wasn't that afraid of young Master Qin anymore. Qin Feng knitted his brows and shook his head in contemplation. He gazed forward absent-mindedly and said, You're wrong. Young Master Qin's depth cannot be measured. It's not something normal people like us can comprehend. All that I mentioned was only the tip of the iceberg that is young Master Qin. He's mysterious and elusive. That's right. He could probably be described as a god. That would be more accurate. Wow. So young Master Qin is a man of unknown depth. Su Ruoro's eyes shined. A godlike man. That was something to look forward to. Ahem. Uncle Fu couldn't listen to another word. He was still driving, and for the safety of Qin Feng and Su Ruoro, he had to interrupt Qin Feng. Young Master Qin's personal attendant will soon be arriving at the Qin Manor. Please don't deliberate this, godlike man. If he heard, he would not be happy. Even Uncle Fu was beginning to complain. Qin Feng awkwardly screwed his head. Right? Young Master Qin is a god. He must be able to sense that we're talking about him behind his back. I'll stop. For the rest of the way to the Qin Manor, Uncle Fu's expression was stormy. He drove the car to the villa and immediately got out of the car to help with the luggage. He had a lasting impression of young Master Qin's bluffing abilities. Wow, Qin Feng, this place is huge. Why you live here? Su Ruoro couldn't close her mouth as she stared in awe at the castle-like Qin Manor. It was her first time seeing something like this in real life. Prior to this, she had only seen places like this on television. Now that she was here, it felt like she was in a dream. Yup, and you'll also be living here every day from here on out. I just told Uncle Fu that you'll be living on the 3rd floor of the largest villa. The room is spacious and open. I'm sure you'll like it. Whether or not Su Ruoro liked it, Qin Feng would like it for sure. After all, he put Su Ruoro in the room across from his. This room was great, but it didn't have its own restroom. If one wanted to shower, they would have to go to the communal bathroom on the 3rd floor. Qin Feng thought about it and cackled evilly. Qin Feng, I haven't even seen young Master Qin. He won't blame you for acting on your own, will he? Su Ruoro was a little worried. Chapter 98. Chapter 98. Time for a raise. Since he knew that Qin Feng put on an act to trick a beauty, Uncle Fu returned to the road and organized things with Xiao Bai. At this time, a young man dressed in expensive clothing with an aura that one could neglect weighed Qin Feng and Su Ruoro and walked towards them. Once he got in front of Qin Feng, he quickly bowed. Qin Feng, you're back? Xiao Bai was about to call him young Master Qin, but he suddenly remembered that he was supposed to be the young master, so he quickly changed what he was going to say. He felt as though they were acting in a play called Real or Fake Young Master Qin. Young Master Qin, let me introduce someone to you. This is Su Ruoro. She's here to be hired as your housekeeper. Are you satisfied with her? Qin Feng patted Xiao Bai's shoulder and put on the airs of an instructor. Xiao Bai immediately nodded. Satisfied, I'm very satisfied. Su Ruoro stood behind Qin Feng the whole time. She was a bit shy and stole a peek at Xiao Bai. She agreed that he wasn't the hedonistic young master he was portrayed to be by outsiders. He didn't even have the aura of a young master. Conversely, he seemed to be someone that depended on himself. Hello, why young Master Qin? Su Ruoro mustered the courage to greet him. Xiao Bai was shocked, but all of the people in the Qin manor knew Qin Feng's personality well. From a glance, Xiao Bai could tell that Qin Feng was courting a woman, so he immediately responded, Hello, you're great. Rest assured, why you can stay in the Qin manor from now on. Okay. Su Ruoro nodded lightly. She found that this young Master Qin seemed to have had a weak and soft personality much like herself. Qin Feng felt that the act went on for long enough. If it continued, they'd surely expose the truth. He was about to send Xiao Bai away when two shadows walked towards them. Qin Feng's expression immediately changed. The people walking over were Qin Huang and Han Ying. Fenger, what are you doing standing here by the door? Oh, this is... Qin Huang came beside Qin Feng and looked at Su Ruoro. He thought she looked familiar, but he could not remember where he had seen her. Su Ruoro was shocked. Qin Huang was the boss of Royal Group. Seeing him so suddenly made Su Ruoro so flustered that she forgot to greet him. Xiao Bai turned as white as a sheet. Qin Feng forced him to pretend to be young Master Qin, but Qin Huang did not know. Now that Chairman Qin was here, Xiao Bai wanted to beat the farewell drums. Seeing that Qin Feng was giving him looks, he couldn't pretend not to see them, so he gritted his teeth and said unwillingly, Dad, this is Su Ruoro. Qin Huang took a step back when Xiao Bai called him Dad. He thought he was hearing things, so he looked at the group before him. He noticed that Qin Feng and Su Ruoro appeared unfazed. He screwed his head in confusion and wondered if he had teleported to an alternate universe. When he saw Han Ying's surprised expression, he asked, Ying, did I hear wrong? Han Ying was also confused. Why would Xiao Bai, the bodyguard of the Qin manor, call Qin Huang Dad? When she saw how calm Qin Feng and Su Ruoro were, she began to understand. Dad, Su Ruoro is here to be hired as my housekeeper. Xiao Bai didn't wait for Han Ying's response and cut in. He already saw Qin Huang's expression darken and thought that if he said this, Boss Qin would understand. After hearing this, Qin Huang really did understand immediately. His face contorted, and he looked as though he wanted to throttle Qin Feng to death. After suppressing his anger for a long time, he glared at Qin Feng, threw down a line, and walked away. You're not looking to improve yourself at all? Han Ying's pretty light blue eyes flashed with a smile. She looked curiously at Qin Feng and Su Ruoro before following Qin Huang away. Once he saw the two walk far away, Xiao Bai looked like he lost his soul. He sat down on the lawn and released the breath he was holding. Qin Feng, why is young Master Qin sitting on the ground? Su Ruoro looked at Xiao Bai and asked with confusion. Oh, young Master Qin likes to be close to nature and loves animals. He likes to spill his heart out to the grass and flowers. Qin Feng randomly made up an excuse. No way. Su Ruoro was shocked. Then, she really saw young Master Qin lower his head towards the ground to whisper the things on his mind to the grass. Little Greenie, I've been busy these past couple of days, so I couldn't come play with you. You're not mad, right? You grew a lot in the few days that I haven't seen you. And you smell much fresher. Seeing this, Suruoro felt a chill sweep over her. Qin Feng thought to himself that it was time to give Xiaobai a raise. This show was acted quite well. Next, Qin Feng brought Suruoro to her room. Uncle Fu already brought her things inside the house. The room had all the daily necessities, and she only needed to organize it a bit. After helping Suruoro organize the room, the two were sweating from head to toe. Suruoro shyly looked at Qin Feng. Qin Feng, it seems that my room doesn't have a shower. Where would I take a bath? Qin Feng laughed and pulled Suruoro to the shared bathroom on the third floor. You can shower here in the future. It's a big place. You can wash however you like. 2 people can even wash in here. Qin Feng's words had a deeper meaning, and Suruoro turned pink. She lowered her head and wouldn't look at Qin Feng. Okay, then I'll go get some new clothes and I'll shower first. Suruoro went back to her room and quickly found a change of clothes. She went into the bathroom and prepared a shower. There were 2 sides to the shared bathroom on the 3rd floor. The middle was separated by a frosted glass. When he saw Suruoro's shadow walk into one of the bathrooms, Qin Feng smiled and walked into the other. Soon, one could see a shadow removing its clothes on the other side of the frosted glass. Though one couldn't see very clearly through the glass, one could see the shape of a body. This one was a perfect one with curves in all the right places. Hualala. The sound of water flowed out. Qin Feng knew Suruoro was already showering when he took off his clothes and also turned on the shower head. He laughingly said, Ruoro, is it you showering there? Suruoro was washing happily when Qin Feng's voice came from next to her. She was so shocked she almost fell. After a while, she weakly replied, Qin Feng, is that you? Yeah, it's me. What a coincidence. I didn't think you'd also be showering. Hearing this, Suruoro's expression became stormy. A coincidence? Qin Feng clearly did this on purpose. Ruoro, you can't reach your back on your own. Want me to help you? Since Suruoro was not speaking, Qin Feng laughingly teased her. Suruoro was so shocked that she wanted to put her clothes on. She said, don't come over. Okay, then you come here and scrub my back. The other side went quiet, and he assumed Suruoro was internally cursing at Qin Feng. After half a minute, Suruoro screamed, opened the bathroom door, and ran into Qin Feng's side of the bathroom. Chapter 99. Chapter 99. The Dongfang Family. Qin Feng had never thought that Suruoro would have the guts to run over to his side of the bathroom, so he didn't even lock the door. Suruoro only wore a white robe, and since the top of her body was wet from the shower, the robe stuck to her body. When Qin Feng saw this, his whole body went bad. Suruoro didn't care about any of this. She was frightened by something. Once she came in, she threw herself into Qin Feng's embrace and hugged him tightly. There's a monster. Qin Feng felt the soft fragrance in his arms and declared with an air of righteousness, Where's this monster? How dare it scare my little sister Ruoro? I'll key. Qin Feng hadn't finished the word kill when he saw a large creature crawl in. He was so shocked that he almost fell over. When he recognized it, something tugged at the corner of his mouth. Last night, Black Turtle was only as big as a basketball. Today, it was already as big as a wash basin. The many-banded krite opened its huge bloody mouth and greeted Qin Feng. It gave a belch, and a fishy smell wafted over. Qin Feng thought the stench would kill him. His expression darkened as he lectured. Black Turtle, go back to the room, face the wall, and repent. Black Turtle immediately drooped its head and slithered out. Suruoro carefully peeked at the door. When she was sure Black Turtle was gone, she exhaled in relief and patted her chest with her small hand. She didn't even pat herself twice when she realized something wasn't right. She stole a glance at Qin Feng's body, and her face and ears immediately turned scarlet. With a scream, she ran back to her room. Too big. It was too big. Sometime after the shower incident, it was time for dinner. Qin Feng went to Suruoro's room to fey her. Su Ruoro changed into a pale yellow dress and wore pigtails. She looked like a dancing butterfly as she exited the room. When she saw Qin Feng, she lowered her head. She had just gotten her face back to its normal color, but it now became completely red again. She followed behind Qin Feng the whole way to the dining area on the first floor. Qin Huang and Han Ying were already sitting at the table. "Good morning, Chairman Qin. Good morning, Assistant Han." Han Ying had only been at the company for a day, and someone already knew her. Su Ruoro knew her because Han Ying was too beautiful, so her name was immediately spread throughout Royal Group. "Good morning, Chairman Qin. Good morning, Assistant Han." Qin Feng also smilingly greeted the two as he sat down. He pulled out the seat next to him for Su Ruoro to sit in. Su Ruoro never thought she'd ever sit and eat at the same table as Chairman Qin of Royal Group. She was so shocked that she couldn't lift her head. After hesitating a while, she weakly asked, "Qin Feng, why isn't young Master Qin here?" Not understanding Qin Feng's response, Qin Huang said harshly, "That brat is dead. You don't have to care about him in the future." Qin Feng coughed and almost choked on his food. Su Ruoro jumped. She thought to herself, "Isn't young Master Qin Huang's son? Why would a dad curse his own son to die?" As the chairman, he's a humorous guy. He was joking with us." Qin Feng immediately amended. Then he looked at Su Ruoro seriously. "Young Master Qin called me earlier. He said for these couple of months, he has to go teach in a remote mountainous region. He's now a person of class. If I were a woman, I'd marry him." After hearing this, Su Ruoro's eyes brightened. It seems that she misunderstood young Master Qin. He was not the hedonistic young master that outsiders made him out to be. Qin Huang almost spit out his food after hearing his son's words. He glared at Qin Feng and suddenly lost his appetite. On the contrary, Qin Feng ate happily. He even kept getting food for Su Ruoro. Halfway through eating, he noticed something was wrong. He said to Qin Huang, "Chairman Qin, our dinners used to always have fish soup. Why didn't we make any today?" Qin Huang said nothing. Butler Wang, who's standing to the side, immediately ran out. He had an apologetic expression. "Qin Feng, tonight all of the fish that had arrived to the Qian area went missing. I think we might have a thief in the Qin manor. I've already reported this to Uncle Fu, and he's investigating it now." Butler Wang wasn't used to Qin Feng's new identity and almost slipped and called him young master. When Qin Feng wanted to act, over 80 staff members of the Qin manor had to act with him. It was really hard on them. Qin Feng's mouth chewed. There was no need for Uncle Fu to investigate because he knew who the criminal was. Su Ruoro spent the meal eating very carefully. After eating, everyone returned to their respective rooms. After Qin Feng entered his room, he saw Black Turtle wreaking havoc. The whole room was filled with the stench of fish, and Qin Feng was so angry that he wanted to toss Black Turtle out the window. He still believed that his initial idea of throwing Black Turtle into the ocean to fend for himself when he had the time was a good idea. He crawled into bed. Since he had nothing to do, he pulled out his phone and added Su Ruoro's QQ account as a friend again. Not long later, she accepted his request. "Young Master Qin, I'm sorry that I accidentally deleted you last time. I hope you aren't mad." This time, Su Ruoro initiated the messaging. Qin Feng held his phone and smiled like a dummy. "That's all right. I have to leave for a while, so you hang out with Qin Feng. If you don't know anything, you can ask him. He's a really straight-laced and proper guy." "Yes, I will. I heard you were going to teach in a remote mountainous village. I think your actions are very commendable. Don't worship this older brother. Eventually, I'll become a legend. It's late. Go to sleep. Remember, if you have time, hang out with Qin Feng and you'll learn a lot." He shamelessly sent these words, signed out of QQ, plopped his head down, and fell deeply asleep. In the room across from him, Su Ruoro held her phone tightly and vigorously nodded. "Young Master Qin, I will." As the night deepened and the humans fell quiet, a sprinkle of rain appeared. A row of bodyguards wearing black sunglasses and a black suits stood outside the VIP walkway of the capital's international airport. They didn't wear the sunglasses to look cool. These sunglasses were actually high-tech, smart glasses. They were one-of-a-kind tools that had GPS, night vision, acted as binoculars, could be used to communicate, etc. An elderly man wearing an extravagant Tang suit stood before this row of large and muscular bodyguards. The elder needed assistance standing, but his body stood straight and tall, and he had an aura of power and prestige. He also had a pair of deep-set eyes that were so sharp they could seemingly cut a hole through anything. If anyone from the upper society of the capital saw him standing in the airport at night waiting for someone, they would definitely be so surprised that they'd rub their eyes. Because he is someone of such importance, there was no one that could make him wait at the airport in the middle of the night. This man is the elder of the Dongfang family of the capital, Dongfang Mingwang. His darling granddaughter was Dongfang Qingxue, who was coming back from America tonight. Elder Wang, Big Miss is back. Right when the bodyguard said this, a woman walked out of the VIP walkway. She was so beautiful she could topple cities and countries. Her face was as white as jade and the color of the morning sun. She was extraordinarily beautiful and bright like the autumn moon. Her shoulder-length hair moved with the wind. Her figure was tall and slim, and her legs were long and thin. She wore a white sweater and a light blue jean skirt. A silk cardigan draped across her shoulders. Her rounded, long legs made one's heart beat, and her chest wasn't like an explosive wave, but it made her figure. Grandpa. Dongfang Qingxue's voice rang like a spring. During these wee hours of the night, the sound gave immediate energy to the tired people that heard her. Qingxue, you finally agreed to return. Were you well these 3 years in America? Dongfang Mingwang wiped away the tears at the corners of his eyes. In his loving attitude, a bit of seriousness seeped through. I'm doing very well. You don't need to worry about me, Grandpa. Dongfang Qingxue naturally tugged her grandfather's arm. Grandpa, how is your health? Dongfang Wangming laughed easily. Take a look and tell me how Grandpa's health is. Let's go. We'll talk more at home. While speaking, an air of strength shot out of the elder's body. Dongfang Qingxue's eyes brightened. It seems that in these 3 years, Grandpa's health had another breakthrough. She was really happy for her grandfather. With the group of bodyguards, the grandparent and grandchild exited the airport. There were 6 black Mercedes-Benzes lined up. When the 2 boarded the third one, the cars moved forward. Once Dongfang Qingxue got in the car, she arched her attractive eyebrows and asked, Grandpa, why did you call me back so urgently? As the most talented young miss of the capital, she depended on her own talent and abilities and developed 2 companies in America that were on the market. If her grandpa didn't force her to return, she would have prepared to settle there. Qingxue, you're not that young anymore. You should get married. Dongfang Mingwang suddenly became serious. To someone from the Qin family? Dongfang Qingxue heard about this marriage and originally thought it was an act. She didn't think that her grandpa would be earnest about it. Her expression sank. That is correct. Can't we cancel this marriage? Dongfang Qingxue complained. As long as Grandpa's alive, I'll insist on getting you and Qin Feng married. Dongfang Qingxue was quiet, and Dongfang Wangming also fell silent. No one spoke for the rest of the ride. Su Ruoro came to the Qin manor to be young Master Qin's housekeeper. Even though young Master Qin went to the distant mountainous region to teach, she didn't slack off. She woke up early and helped Butler Wang organize breakfast. Han Ying also woke up early. When she went to the living room, she noticed Su Ruoro hard at work. She walked up to her. Ruoro, you don't have to do this stuff in the future. Let Butler Wang take care of it. Seeing that the chairman's assistant came over, Su Ruoro immediately lowered her head and said, Good morning, Assistant Han. I am here at the Qin Manor to be a housekeeper. Even if young Master Qin went to teach, I'll still fulfill my responsibilities to the best of my ability. Han Ying's eyes glimmered with mirth. She gave Su Ruoro a once-over and wondered how someone like Qin Feng could be so lucky to meet a girl of Su Ruoro's quality on the first day of work. Okay, then you do what you need to do. Since we all live in the Qin Manor, we're considered a family. If you ever have trouble at work, you can look for me. Han Ying and Su Ruoro were people of 2 different worlds. They didn't have anything to speak about. Since Qin Feng and the rest had not yet arrived, Han Ying returned to her room to prepare her documents for work. Chapter 100. Chapter 100. Are you a mouse? Qin Feng had a really nice sleep last night. At this time, he had just awoken and washed. When he went downstairs, he saw Su Ruoro hard at work. He was about to convince her to stop, but she was hired to be young Master Qin's housekeeper. He did not want to expose his identity, so he let Su Ruoro be. He suddenly thought of how he promised to buy Li Yuqin a new pair of stockings. Since that it was not time to eat yet, he went to Han Yingying's room and arrived at the third-floor balcony. There hung a row of different colored stockings. Of course, there were also a variety of undergarments, and they were the thin and see-through kind. Qin Feng examined them for a while, and after a lot of effort, he prevented himself from pocketing a couple. Thump, thump, thump. He chose a black fishnet one from the array of stockings. When he turned, he heard the click of high heels and a fragrant scent wafted over. Qin Feng, what are you doing in my room? Han Ying was preparing her documents. She was about to choose a pair of stockings to wear to work when she saw Qin Feng standing there holding one of her favorite pairs of stockings that she only wore at home. Han Ying's eyes flashed with a sliver of charming amusement. Qin Feng, why are you holding my stockings? If you like them, I can wear them for you. There are a lot of different styles. I can wear every one for you. Qin Feng eyed Han Ying's hot body, and his eyes fell on her beautiful fair thighs. He imagined what she would look like if she wore the stockings, and thought it would certainly be really sexy. But Qin Feng knew how dangerous this woman was, so he replied nonchalantly, "Oh, last night Butler Wang didn't have grilled fish soup, and I was afraid that he'd forget it again tonight, so I was going to borrow your stockings and go to the pond in the garden to see some fish." The romantic mood Han Ying created was immediately shattered, and her expression froze. She stared at Qin Feng and stomped down the stairs. Didn't get the hint? Qin Feng weighed Han Ying's back, and his eyes shone with mirth. He thought to himself that it was a pity this woman's background was so strong. If he played with her feelings, he would be annihilated. Not long after, four people gathered in the dining area. Su Ruoro just arrived in the Qin manor and felt that it was unnatural to be eating at the same table as Chairman Qin and Assistant Han. It took her a great effort to swallow down her breakfast. Qin Huang and Han Ying left first in a Benz, and Qin Feng took Su Ruoro on his humble 28 bicycle. Su Ruoro was now used to sitting on the 28 bicycle and was less nervous. She even had a happy expression as she savored the feeling of the wind rushing past her ears. Qin Feng, last night young Master Qin spoke to me. He said I should hang out with you more and learn from you. Young Master Qin has good insight. You should listen to him. I know. Su Ruoro shyly nodded. She felt Qin Feng's arm hugging her waist, but she didn't resist. Though Qin Feng left later, he arrived before Qin Huang and Han Ying and parked his bike in the VIP parking area. After, the two sitting in the black commercial Mercedes-Benz also arrived. Qin Huang and Han Ying slowly accepted this strange occurrence. The four went into the same elevator area. Qin Huang and Han Ying took the elevator solely for the chairman. After waiting for a while, Qin Feng and Su Ruoro took the employee elevator to the sales department lobby on the 8th floor. Due to Qin Feng's beatings, Xiao Ma and Xiao Qiu were sent to the hospital. The doctor advised them to rest for at least 3 days before returning to work. When Wang Chao saw Qin Feng smiling and talking with Su Ruoro, his expression darkened. However, there was nothing he could do about Qin Feng at the moment since he didn't have his two lackeys. He told Xiao Ma and Xiao Qiu to take care of Qin Feng, but they had now gone missing for 2 days. Work time flew by because Qin Feng spent it feeling Su Ruoro's thigh. Seeing her cold expression, Qin Feng felt that he had done enough thigh massaging for today. He was a hard-working person, and was even more so someone who was fair and unselfish. Since Su Ruoro's thigh massage was done, he suddenly thought of Li Yuqin in the managerial office. As the head of the sales department, she must have a lot of pressure from work. Qin Feng thought that he should give her a massage so she could let loose. Qin Feng suddenly thought that if he became the company's chairman, he would be one that was very thoughtful of his employees, especially the pretty female ones. Come in. Qin Feng knocked on the office door and a strong voice came from within. He pushed the door open and entered. Upon entering, Qin Feng's eyes fell onto Li Yuqin's beautiful legs. She wasn't wearing stockings today, and her thighs were shiny and white. There was a slight scar on the spot where she got hurt. It seemed that the elementary gold sore medicine was indeed mysterious. Qin Feng made a mental note to plan and open up a medicine company when he had time. He would sell the elementary gold sore medicine, and the sales would definitely be prolific. Qin Feng's gaze was always brazen. Even when he was pretending to be lazy, Liu Chun could immediately see the evil glint in his eye. "What do you want?" She looked coldly at Qin Feng as she retracted her legs that she previously extended under the table. "Nothing important. But besides work, seeing Manager Li so earnest, I'm not sure if you need me to give you a leg massage," Qin Feng said with seriousness. Liu Chun was so angry that her mind went blank for a bit. She couldn't understand where Qin Feng got his courage and thick skin to say these kinds of things. "If there's nothing, then you can leave." Liu Chen's coldness made it seem as if her body had a layer of ice. Nowadays, once she saw Qin Feng, her head would hurt. "Manager Li, actually, I was here to ask if the wound on your leg was better. If it hasn't completely healed, I'll give you some medicine to apply to it." Once she heard him mention the wound, Liu Chen's iciness thawed. Though she hated Qin Feng, she had to admit that the medicine he applied on her leg was really mysterious. She just went to sleep and the scar completely disappeared the following day. It was as if she never got hurt. "That's my problem. You don't have to worry about it." Her tone was neutral. "Manager Li, don't be so polite. We're all co-workers. We should interact. Hurry and let me see your leg more closely. If the scar hasn't completely disappeared, I'll help you put on some medicinal powder. Of course, this powder has to be paired with my saliva to work." Seeing Liu Chen weaken, Qin Feng immediately added the latter comment with a smile. "Qin Feng, are you a mouse? Why are you going under my desk? Get out of there." Liu Chun was shy and frustrated. She was so angry that she immediately stood up. Chapter 101. Chapter 101. Here to talk about business. "Manager Li, don't be nervous. I'm only checking to see if the wound on your leg is better." Liu Chun was so scared that she backed away, and Qin Feng came out from under the table. Liu Chen looked at Qin Feng like he was a monster. She was so frustrated that she was going to go crazy. When she was about to yell at Qin Feng to get the hell out of her office, the office door opened. A man and a woman walked in. The man was dressed in a Western suit and leather shoes. He was handsome and stood straight and tall. The woman was dressed provocatively in revealing clothes. Once the two walked into the office, the provocatively dressed woman's gaze swept through the office and fell onto Liu Chun. Her eyes revealed a bit of a playful smile. "Yu Chun, are you working?" the woman asked with a strange tone. When Liu Chun saw Wang Ying, her expression shifted subtly and her eyebrows furrowed slightly. This woman was her childhood playmate who grew up in the same compound as her. The two of them had extremely different personalities. Wang Ying lived by chasing after a life of fortune. After graduating, she plotted to be the mistress of a rich household. Maybe she earnestly practiced outstanding moves in bed and tricked a bunch of men, but she moved out of the poor compound she used to live at and moved into a mansion. The people in the compound only saw Wang Ying's current glory and didn't know about the dirty exchanges that were in her past. They even saw her as a role model. They taught their kids to look up to Wang Ying in hopes that their kids would leave their poor compound one day to live in a skyscraper for the rich. It's a good thing they taught their sons these things. Otherwise, these parents would have made a great contribution to Acropolis City's entertainment industry. Naturally, Liu Chen's mother was among these jealous parents. She asked around and had a deep understanding of the situation, so she knew Wang Ying pounced onto a rich family. She wanted her own daughter to do the same. Plus, Liu Chun was a recognized beauty in the compound, so Mother Li's aspirations for her were high. She wanted Liu Chun to hook up with young Master Qin and become the #1 rich madam of Acropolis. "Oh, Yu Chun, you're too rude. My honey and I have been standing here for half a day, and you don't even know enough to pour us some tea and pull out some chairs. You really have no sense. No wonder you're still living in that old broken compound." Seeing Liu Chun rooted to the spot, Wang Ying's sharp tongue began to nag. When they were in the compound, Liu Chen was called a flower, so Wang Ying was always extremely dissatisfied about that. Now that she had a higher social standing than Liu Chen, she was naturally eager to show off and feed her vanity. Want some water? Pour it yourself. Want to sit? Sorry, there's only one seat for every person in the sales department, so there aren't any extra chairs for you two to sit in. Liu Chen didn't open her mouth, and it was Qin Feng's voice that lazily drifted out. After Wang Ying and her boyfriend Sun Yi came through the door, their gazes were on Liu Chen. If Qin Feng didn't speak, none of them would have seen him. Who are you? How dare you speak to us like that? Wang Ying's face fell as she viciously glared at Qin Feng. I'm a sales representative in the sales department, Qin Feng said arrogantly as he raised his head and puffed up his chest. Haha, so you're just a little sales representative. Why aren't you working? What are you doing in Liu Chen's office? Wang Ying acted like a haughty rich woman as she crossed her arms in front of her chest and smiled coldly at Qin Feng. Her gaze shifted between Liu Chen and Qin Feng several times. Her eyes then flashed with mirth. Haha, Liu Chen, you're kidding, right? Has it come to the stage where you're having a little office romance with a sales representative? You should at least choose someone with a higher position. Though she knew this guess was incorrect, Wang Ying bit onto the accusation that Liu Chen and Qin Feng were playing office romance games. Qin Feng suddenly saw Wang Ying in a better light and praised. Your eyes aren't bad. We are having an office romance. Now please leave and don't ruin the mood. Haha, Liu Chen, I don't know what to say to you, but this young little handsome man you found is kind of cute. Wang Ying laughed uncontrollably. Liu Chen's expression fell, and she looked coldly at Qin Feng. If there's nothing else, leave now? Manager Li, I do have something. Something really important. Qin Feng became serious. Seeing his serious expression, Liu Chen wanted to kill someone. You better not bring up the thing about female workers' uniforms again, or I'll fire you right now. Qin Feng felt wronged because he wasn't going to bring up the female employees' uniforms. At this time, he had already reached into his pocket and was about to show Liu Chen his important matter. All three people in the room weighed Qin Feng curiously as he pulled out something black from his pocket and slowly unfolded it. It turned out to be a pair of silk fishnet stockings. As they wondered why Qin Feng had such a thing in his pocket, they saw him stand before Liu Chen and extend the stockings to her. He smiled brightly. Manager Li, yesterday I pulled too hard and ripped your stockings. I said I would give you a new pair. After choosing carefully, I thought the fishnet style of stockings would look good on you. Liu Chen was so mad she forgot to breathe. Wang Ying laughed. Liu Chen, so you're doing it for real. Crap, you always pretend to be all proper, but you do these kinds of things behind the scenes. Aren't you afraid your employees will find out? Wang Ying's boyfriend Sun Yi didn't speak the whole time. He had a gentlemanly smile the whole time, but after hearing Qin Feng's words, his eyes flashed with an almost imperceptible fierceness. As his mistress, Wang Ying visited Liu Chen every month to show off. Sun Yi was happy to come along because the first time he saw Liu Chen, he was attracted by her beauty and her flaming body. Many times had he hinted at Liu Chen that he wanted to get rid of Wang Ying and have her as his mistress instead, but he met no success. Hearing today that Liu Chen had a secret romance with Qin Feng, Sun Yi was extremely angry. He was even more dissatisfied after knowing Qin Feng was a mere sales representative. He was rich and handsome. How was he lacking compared to Qin Feng? Unless this kid lasts really long? Ahem, Wang Ying and I are here to talk business. You and I are on completely different levels sales rep, so I think you should leave. Sun Yi finally spoke, and once he opened his mouth, his words were directed at Qin Feng. Since he knew Liu Chen was not a good woman, Sun Yi decided he wanted to capture this exquisite item. You're right, my level is much higher than yours. You aren't good enough to talk to me about business. But I'm in a good mood today, so I'll make an exception and listen to you. What business do you wish to speak of? Qin Feng didn't leave, and even sat on Liu Chen's desk instead. Sun Yi coughed. He was so angry that he choked. He stared at Qin Feng in dissatisfaction. I really don't know where your confidence comes from. I meant that your level is too low, and you don't have the right to speak to me about business. Liu Chen's spirit seemed to have returned. She looked at the sexy and revealing stockings in her hand and was about to throw them in the trash, But she thought of how a good amount of people came in and out of the office every day for business matters and reports. If they saw them, it would be too embarrassing. In the end, she stuffed them into her drawer with a huff. She actually did not want to be alone with Wang Ying and Sun Yi. Seeing that Qin Feng wouldn't leave, she thought she might as well let Qin Feng handle these two annoying people. Why does level matter when talking business? Qin Feng is an outstanding sales representative in our company. If you have business, go right ahead. If not, you can leave. Oh, Manager Li, you really give a lot of face. You even want to rush us out? Do you know why we came today? We're here to buy a house, and it's from Royal Group's newest Cloud City Hua Manor. Still want to make us leave? I'm afraid you won't be able to keep your job. Cloud City Hua Manor is a building that Royal Group just opened. Any suite in it was worth a couple million yuan or tens of millions of yuan. It was a prosperous community that represented status in Cloud City. Usually, even Li Yuchun, the general sales manager, didn't have the ability to talk about this large case. Instead, a superior in Royal Group would have to talk about it. If Wang Ying wanted to buy a mansion today and looked directly for Li Yuchun, she clearly did so just to show off. My apologies, please wait. I'll call the internal offices and find a superior to speak with you. Li Yuchun could resign from this job, but she wouldn't be able to explain it to her old mother. Plus, if she was fired by Royal Group, she would lose her sliver of a chance to meet young Master Qin. In the end, all she could do was compromise. Her attitude toward Wang Ying and her boyfriend softened visibly. Manager Li, what is the Cloud City Hua Manor? Qin Feng never cared about his dad's work matters, so he didn't know about this new mansion. Li Yuchun thought she embarrassed herself enough, but she was successfully slapped by Wang Ying once again. She just glared at Qin Feng and was in no mood to speak with him. Wang Ying's mood was extremely good once she saw Li Yuchun catering to her. When she learned that Qin Feng never heard of Cloud City Hua Manor, she burst into brazen laughter. You don't know Cloud City Hua Manor? That's normal. After all, that's where those with money and status in Acropolis City gather. You're just a little sales rep. How would you know? With your background, you'll never be able to afford those houses. You don't even need to know about them. It might shock your weak little heart to death. When he heard Wang Ying's words, Qin Feng wanted to laugh. Where in Acropolis would one find a mansion that Qin Feng couldn't buy? At this time, the office door opened again and a mature middle-aged man wearing a white dress shirt and black slacks walked in. This was Wang Jun, the superior Li Yuchun had just called over. Chapter 102. Chapter 102. The Askissery Backfires. General Manager Li, are these the two that want to see the Cloud City Hua Manor mansions? Upon entering, Wang Jun got straight to the point. To General Manager Li, the Cloud City Hua Manor was a large project, but to Wang Jun, the deputy manager of the administrative department, it was just another project. He still had a lot to do, and didn't want to waste too much time on this project. After Wang Jun's glance swept over Wang Ying and Sun Yi, he noticed that there was another man in the office. When his gaze fell on Qin Feng's face, he was so shocked that he almost shouted aloud. Due to his position in the company, he knew Qin Feng. This was Chairman Qin's only child. Haha, how do you do? Wang Jun knew that Qin Feng came to the company to gain some experience. He also knew that Qin Feng was gaining this experience as a sales representative. But, after seeing him, he felt that it would be bad not to greet him. Wang Ying and Sun Yi were shocked. Wang Jun didn't give Sun Yi any face and wanted to get right to the point after walking in, yet he suddenly cheerily greeted Qin Feng. They stood stupidly to the side and didn't know what to do. At the same time, they wondered if Li Yuchun called over one of the company's porters from their warehouse. Ahem. Hello, I'm Sun Yi. Sun Deming, chairman of Big Land Real Estate Agency, is my father. Wang Jun came back to his senses. He saw Qin Feng smile at him, so he released the breath he was holding. He then turned to shake Sun Ye's hand. Hello, I'm the deputy manager of Royal Group's administrative department, Wang Jun. Sun Yi confirmed Wang Jun's identity with his name tag. Deputy manager of the administrative department was a pretty high position, so Sun Ye's attitude toward Wang Jun improved. Manager Wang, I'm here to buy a house. I was not aware I would make you come all the way here. It's my pleasure. Sun Yi wasn't just here to buy houses. His dad was Sun Deming, the founder of Big Land Real Estate. The business was performing decently, and they were purposefully coming to Royal Group under the guise of buying a mansion to see if they could join Acropolis's #1 real estate company. Once they joined them, they could just take some of Royal Group's real estate projects, make money without consequences, and have enough to buy and sell to feed themselves for the rest of their lives. Cut the pleasantries and get straight to the point, Wang Jun said solemnly. Seeing that his ass-kissing backfired, Sun Yi gave a pleasant smile. He was about to speak when he remembered Qin Feng was still standing to the side. He said coldly, "Hey sales rep, I have important things to discuss with Manager Wang. If you have nothing to do here, go back to work. This office isn't big, and by standing there you're blocking off Manager Wang's ventilation." When one ass-kissing attempt didn't work, Sun Yi decided to do it thousands and tens of thousands of times more. He didn't believe that he wouldn't be able to make at least one of them stick. This time, Sun Yi really missed the mark. After Wang Jun heard this, his heart ached and wanted to slap Sun Yi soundly in the mouth. Wang Jun hadn't even said anything, and Sun Yi wasn't even a damn superior of Royal Group yet he was grumbling. Wang Jun didn't dare sit anymore, and immediately stood. "Qin Feng, I almost forgot. This office only has 2 chairs. You sales reps have it the hardest. You're always assisting customers all day, and you can't even take a sip of water before you have to go call customers as well. If we didn't have you worker bees, Royal Group wouldn't reign over as large of a land as it currently does. I sit until my bottom hurts in the office every day. You can sit here instead, Qin Feng." "Oh, Manager Wang, how can I sit when you're here? You're cutting my life short." Qin Feng immediately pushed back. Wang Jun thought to himself, Qin Feng is currently hiding his identity to learn in the company, so by doing this, Wang Jun was being too obvious. He was about to go sit back down when Qin Feng sat on the chair first. "Okay, Manager Wang, then I'll really sit." Wang Jun jumped back to where he stood previously as if he was electrocuted. He said smilingly, You sit. These two acted out a 2-man show, and Sun Yi and Wang Ying were shocked. Even Liu Chun, who stood to the side, had a flicker of surprise flash through her luminous and beautiful face. Last time, Wang Jun personally made a call in regards to Qin Feng's 3-day absence from work, and today, he treated Qin Feng with such regard. Liu Chen realized that Qin Feng had some sort of huge backing in Royal Group. Why else would Wang Jun, deputy manager of the administrative department, tiptoe around him? Wang Jun was already standing, so Sun Yi definitely couldn't sit. He hurriedly stood and glared coldly at Qin Feng. Sun Yi smiled at Wang Jun. "Manager Wang, the low-leveled employees in this company have no sense of propriety. You were polite to him, and he really thought he was a big shot and shamelessly sat down. I don't know how he got into a big company like Royal Group." This askissery filled Wang Jun's stomach with fire. Qin Feng jumped and looked worriedly at Wang Jun. "Oh, Manager Wang, so you were just being polite. You should have told me. Look at me. I thought you meant it. Manager Wang, you sit. Wang Jun's heart was currently leaking blood, and he gritted his teeth while looking at Sun Yi. "Sun Yi, right? Are you here to talk business, or to teach me how to treat my employees? If it's the latter, then sorry, I'm really busy. I'll take my leave." Wang Jun was about to leave with a huff. He didn't dare stay because he was afraid of offending Qin Feng and subsequently losing his job. Qin Feng was known as the hedonistic young master, and Wang Jun felt that he did not have the capability to wait on this kind of young master. "Manager Wang, don't get mad. I am here to talk business. Sun Yi immediately tried to convince Wang Jun. He really slapped himself in the face this time. Sun Yi still didn't realize that Qin Feng's identity wasn't simple. Sun Yi thought he made Wang Jun mad because Wang Jun would lose face when Sun Yi pointed out the workplace's hidden, unspoken rules. If you want to talk business, then do it properly. Don't change the topic. Wang Jun let out the breath he was holding. He stood to the side and didn't dare sit on the chair. Both seats were empty, so Qin Feng sat. He even waved to Liu Chun. "General Manager Li, aren't these people silly? There are chairs and they don't sit. They're even making up all sorts of excuses. You sit too, let's arm wrestle." Qin Feng's words were shocking. Sun Yi and Wang Ying looked at him with even more contempt. They were sure that there was definitely something wrong with his head. Liu Qin guessed at his identity and sat down with a laugh. She was always teased by Wang Ying, so this was considered a little victory for her today. Once he saw that Qin Feng was taken care of, Wang Jun was then able to talk business. Mr. Sun, Royal Group's Cloud City Hua Manor has 6 units. These are the 6 units renderings. There's also a model of it in the sales lobby. You can go look and see which one you'd like to purchase. Wang Jun extended a rendering towards Sun Yi. Sun Yi took a careless look and quickly shut the renderings. He didn't care about the unit configurations. He was here to build a relationship with Royal Group. You're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.